Hello, 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 and welcome. Happy early Valentine's Day. I have with me today two beauties. It's perfectly Pamela, and I have Mel to the B, Melly Mel. How are you ladies?
Doing
Good.
good.
That's
Very
good. So
good.
before we get started, I just want to say Kate cannot make it. Kate, I call her. She cannot make it tonight. So we're going to be thinking about Kate. Y'all don't know. Maybe she'll show up in the chat if it doesn't get too late. But we're sending prayers to Miss Kate. She's fine, but she just had some things that come up, and she couldn't be here. So that's okay. We have her in spirit. All right. So let's get started. Let's see who's in the chat real quick. Let's see. We're going to give some quick shout outs. We have Miss Brenda. Hi, Miss Brenda. How are you? We have Keisha. Hi, Keisha. How are you? Happy Valentine's Day to you ladies. Early Valentine's Day. We have the real MVP. How are you? We have Joe. How are you, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
We have the Turtle Diaries. How are you? How are you? We have we have Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey. How are you? I've never seen that name, so welcome to the chat. Who else do we have in here? Let's see. Oh, we have It's Perfectly. Pamela was in the chat. We have Purple Bellflower, my weight loss twin. How are you? We have, is that it? Did I get everybody? Okay, so I think I got everybody. So, Joe, you know Lord Grant. I don't know who that is, but welcome. So today this is the single ladies. You know, I was going to call this Valentine's Day, but that name is not cool enough for me. So I didn't want to go with that. I got to think of another name, but I know people call it Valentine's Day when you're single and ready to mingle. So I'm single. I think I'm ready to mingle. Pamela, are you ready to mingle? I know you're single.
Oh man, I'll tell you, I'm ready to mingle if God drops him in my lap. That's
Okay.
about it.
And he just might. He just might.
True.
That's
True.
right. You never
What
know.
about you, Mel to the B?
Yes, I'm already mingling, so I'm
You're
not
already
gonna stop.
mingling.
Just got to put yourself out there.
All right, so I have a question to kind of get us started tonight. Okay, and it is night, right? Before we do that, let me show you guys. I'm so, it's the teacher in me. I have my little Valentine's Day accessories. So this is so sweet. One of my students brought me some flowers, these little roses. Isn't that so cute? He was so excited to bring it up and give me the biggest hug. I just thought it was so funny. And he also got me this. Look at this. Some of this stuff another student got me, but these little balloons with my balloon came off, and here it is. Here it is. And then it has this. Have you guys seen this? Now my daughter is trying to get me, and I don't know. She's trying to get me to give this to her. Have you guys ever seen this?
It's a hand sanitizer.
She's like, Mom, can I
little
have
girls
this?
love it.
She's like, yeah. She's like this. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe he got that for you. That is so. What'd she say? She's like, that is so more expensive than the other hand sanitizers. I'm like, I've never heard of it. So anyway, yeah, I don't know what this is about, but it's like in my house. She wants
It's a thing. It's a thing.
I love
Some
it.
other balloons. I think that's super cute. And then I have, of course, my cool shades. I don't think I'm going to put these babies on tonight. But then I have not been in Target. I've been like staying out of Target. But I did go in there because I was buying, using these gift cards that I got for Christmas. So I saw this in Target and I had to get it. Ta-da! Can you see what this is? It's a pillow. Oh, my goodness. It's a heart pillow. I just thought this was the cutest thing ever. So I have that. So I am Valentine's out. And then I thought, okay, I need a drink. So I had to take my daughter to Starbucks. So I got a little drink. And this is my Valentine's Day cup. And then one last thing, of course, I'm wearing red, which is one of my favorite colors. But look at my phone. I had to bling it out with my phone.
That's so cute.
And I never put this on. I don't know why, but I'm going to start to carry my phone case. So, but it's the season for it, right? So I have it. So that's me in the red. I see Mel has on the pink. I love a good theme. What are you going to do? Okay. All right. So let's get started.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
protesting Valentine's Day. I'm in black.
You,
Yeah.
I, I started to wear a black turtleneck. It has a little slit in it. And I was like, oh, I probably should wear the red one. But I love black. It's just classy. You could wear it with anything. Pamela, you have the right idea. All right. So let's start out. Oh, let me fix this. So let's start off with this question. Now, since you guys have, slimmed down on your GLP-1 journey, does Valentine's Day feel different to you this year? And also the people in the chat, what do you think? Since you slimmed down and lost weight, is Valentine's Day feeling a little different? Pamela, what do you think?
I'll say not really. Probably because I haven't been dating in about 10 years. So it doesn't really feel any different, you know. I guess if I was more like Mel and I was out there mingling, then it might, but yeah, it's same old, it's just another day to me.
Okay,
Same
all
thing
right.
it's been for the last 10 years.
For the last 10 years. So you haven't been dating in 10 years. So are
Mhm.
you going to be afraid to get back out there?
I'd say nervous. I don't necessarily know if afraid would be the right word, but nervous, yeah.
Now, what would you do? Like, would you like want to run into something? Like, if you had a choice, would you want to run into somebody out and about? Would you want to be hooked up by a friend or someone you know? Or would you want to do online dating? Or are you
Dee
open
Dee.
to
I said God gonna have to drop him
that?
in my lap. I'm gonna be sitting right here on my couch watching TV, and he's gonna fall through the ceiling and be like, "God sent me."
God sent me. I
No,
love that.
I don't know. I don't. I wouldn't care either way if it was somebody that I met out and about, or if it was somebody that one of my friends said, you know, hey, I know somebody that, you know, I think y'all might be good together or whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't really care. I think at this point in my life, I would really have to know that it was somebody that I was serious about before I would really say, "Hey, we're dating." Otherwise, we just mingling, we just friends, you
Okay.
know.
All right. Just mingling, just friends. Okay. I love that.
Mhm.
What about you, Mel?
That just made me think of you're mingling, baby. Go ahead, baby. You're mingling, baby. So yeah, I think what was the question? Oh, no, it doesn't feel different. I was already at my goal last year. And then the year before, honestly, I think I had just started my health journey. So no, it doesn't feel different this year. It feels probably I would use the word empowered. So for me, more than anything, it feels empowered. And that's because I know what I want. And like Pamela, I'm not playing. Like I don't want to hurt anybody else. I also don't want to get hurt. So my picker had to improve. Like my picking talent was not there. But yeah, no, doesn't feel any different. Feels empowering. I'm going out tomorrow
Mhm.
night, so to like a single thing. So it should be fun.
Yeah, so I got to start doing that. I got to start going out and being more social. I really haven't done that. And the things that I've been out and social with have been, brought together by not the best situation. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to going out and being social, and just my intention is to enjoy myself and have a good time. So I have not done that, and I wonder if I would be open to. I am open to online dating, but I don't know. I don't know. I've done it before. And when I did it before, I was just kind of like, whatever. Now that at that time, I was not a mom. I had not had my daughter. So I think I was just kind of like, whatever. Now I'm a lot more reserved because I'm older. I'm a lot more, just kind of like giving people the side eye because of my daughter. And I just really think I have to make a great choice. Like I always say, like I don't have time to be an old fool. And so I just have no
Right.
time for that. And I didn't do it when I was younger, really. So it's like, you know how have you ever seen some women and you think like, gosh, she waited till she got this age to be duped the way she's being duped. And I don't want that to happen. Now, I don't know, if I can avoid it or not. What's helped me, I think, navigate through this is I had just, my dad was wonderful. My stepdad is wonderful. My brother, nice looking guy, and he was duping the girl. So I kind of knew what to look out for. My cousin, nice looking, I've had some nice looking men in my family, but they were always, the younger ones were always, doing things, and I would hear things and see things. So I kind of know like what a red flag is. And when I see a red flag, I kind of keep it moving. And I think that has been to my detriment, because every little thing I want to be pill out.
Yeah.
And I have to learn how to, not compromise, but I have to learn how to, I think I have to learn how to not be so, impatient with people, and I feel like once somebody breaks my trust, though, it's just a deal breaker like that with friendships, everything. It's just, I'm never going to be the same. And so once that happens, it's like, oh no, so I was like, don't lie to me and let me catch you early, because it's over. It's a wrap. It's not going to, it's not going to progress. So I don't know, but since Joe is in here, I want to show this video that Joe sent to me, and then I'll explain it after I play it. So hopefully this whole thing doesn't come crashing down. Joe, are you ready for the video? Okay, all right, let's see. All right, let me play this video. All right, listen up. Let me turn the volume up. So Joe is doing something that I think is so brave, and we're going to talk about it.
Because you're near me, honey, but when you're near... Oh, hi, how are you? You probably wondering what I'm up to. I'm not entirely sure. You see, it's Valentine's Day this weekend, and I've got a hot date with a cool young buck. And when I say young, I mean young. He's invited me to this virtual date. What's a virtual date? They didn't have that back in my day. I do not know what to do, what to wear, how to behave, and I need your advice. Please pray for me. Pray for me. I don't want to do anything inappropriate, but what is inappropriate on a virtual date? I don't know.
So I love that. So ladies, what do you think about this? So Joe told me that this guy invited her on a virtual date. And I said, what is a virtual date? So I'm going to tell you, I don't know what she's writing in the chat, but I'm going to tell you what she said. She said, and then this is the sweetest thing. I don't know if you saw her videos today, and their date is tomorrow on Valentine's Day. So she says, she says he is 19 years younger than her. He peeped her out. I love that. She said, so her 32-year-old nephew has been, kind of vetting him. She says that, he has been following her channel for months, and they have a lot of things in common with their kind of health things going on. And, he's into that carnivore diet, which Joe kind of is too. So they have some things in common. So she said that he invited her on this date. Now get this. I said, wow, that is so cool. A virtual date. And, she's in the UK. I'm assuming he's in the US. I don't know if she told me that. But she said that he sent her today some flowers and a teddy bear, right? Isn't it flowers and a teddy bear? I know. Wait, did I get that right, Joe? Yes. Yeah. And I Valentine's teddy bear and balloons from him today. So I don't know.
Nice.
That's so sweet. That was so sweet.
So what do you guys think about that? What if somebody hit you up online and said, let's date?
Well, I've online dated before. So for me, that's not a stretch. My last boyfriend I met online, and we dated for maybe, and this was probably one of the shortest relationships. I would say maybe a year. And yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. I love it. I think you have to be open, and I think there's a balance between being open and just, taking care of yourself and making sure you're not getting duped, or, you hear all the scams and things like that. But I think it's wonderful. I think it's a beautiful thing. Now, I am not
Mhm.
online dating. I have online dated. I've gotten engaged via on to somebody who I met online on Black People Meet. That was some years ago. So yeah, anyway. Oh, I think I heard Joe's voice again, that beautiful voice. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's incredible. I think that is wonderful. I think it is wonderful, really.
Yeah, I love that. I love how I mean, it's like online date, but I love how he, like actually hit her. I don't know, did he hit you up on your YouTube video?
Yeah,
Like,
have we seen him? That's the question. Because if you say yes, Joe, and we have seen him, then I might know who it is.
I think he has a channel. Doesn't he have a channel, Joe?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
So this isn't online dating though. Like she went on this site, and found him
Right.
that
No,
way.
it's different.
Like
Mhm.
hit her up, on
Yeah.
online. So, see, that's what I say. So what is wrong with me? Because I had this young little whippersnapper, personal trainer trying to talk to me. Like this was months and months ago. And I was like, this little boy, I just said, oh my goodness, I could not bring myself to do it. Plus, it was out of, long distance too. He
Mhm.
doesn't live in Ohio, anywhere near Ohio, actually. And I was like, but I was attracted. I'm not going to lie. You see the biceps, he had a
Mhm.
12 pack. And I was attracted, but I was just like, I felt like I wanted to spank my own hand. So then when I see somebody like Joe that's like, he's 19 years younger, I'm going for it. I think, like, gosh, why can't I loosen up like that? I don't
Mhm.
know. But I just love that for you, Joe. And Joe has been on there with her boobs. Like she's like dressed up. She has on her dress. Her little boobs are out. So she's real in the mood. I told Joe she is gonna. She might get a husband before she gets to that 20K subscribers.
Uh-huh. Did you see her comment, Joe's comment about,
What
and
did she
yes,
say?
I think you might know who he is. Yeah, I might, because I work from home
Mhm.
and sometimes I'm in the YouTube streets at different hours. So I think I got you. I think I know who it is, Joe.
Mhm.
Not
All right,
bad.
let's see. What are people saying about that? That is so funny. All right, we have Ruth that came in. We got JC. We got Paul, brother Paul. We had who else came in? Okay, did I get everybody? I got Mrs. V. How are you, Miss V? Okay, all right, very good. Angie, how are you? Oh, Angie, we got to put this up here. Look at her caricature. I love that. Very
Oh,
cool. Look how
cute.
cute you are. Oh, it's so creative that chat. Is it GPT? I always say
You
GTP.
always say
G
GTP. I've given
yeah,
up.
GPT.
It's GPT.
Okay, all right. All right. So wait, so what are people saying about Joe's dating? Okay. Joe said she's dropping through the ceiling like Bad Bunny. Oh gosh, Joe. I might get you're gonna be a bad lady on your date tomorrow, or are you not? What are you gonna do, Joe? She says you're gonna mingle till I'm not single. LOL. I love that. Mingle till I'm not single. Okay,
Okay.
very cool. Let's see. Okay, wait. Let's see. What are people saying about Joe? I'm curious. Okay, wait, we're scrolling down. Let's see. Uh Joe says, ooh, I've had so many family dramas and house. Oh, I can't see. What's that? Crises, she's saying? Oh, Joe. She says, oh my God, that is so cute. It was a cute little video. Joe.
That was cute.
She says, okay, Queen, Joe. Oh my goodness. She said, love it when the young ones make a move. Get it, girl. So, Joe, are you guys so are you guys sharing your the date? Like, are you gonna is he a content creator? Let me know that. I want to say he is, but I can't be 100% sure. That's so funny. Whatever you do, do not show him your feet. What? What's up with the feet? That reminds me of Eddie Murphy in that Boomerang.
Oh
With the
yeah, that
feet.
was so good. That is so
Uh.
such a good movie.
So you said your nephew is very protective. I love that. I will definitely take that advice and not show him my feet. But if he's watching your video, he's seeing your feet already. So how about that? Okay, let's see. I think online dating, Bill Flowers says, is the new wave these days. Yes. Oh, Anissa, you've dated
Mhm.
I don't
online.
know if it's that new though. My girl Nicole, you've been married
Yeah.
for a long time. I don't know how new it is.
Yeah, no, it's not that new.
Yeah, it's
I
like 10 to 15 years old, isn't it?
Love you, Nicole.
At least.
yeah, 15 to 20 actually.
20.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
The last time I even attempted online dating was when I first started working where I'm working now, and I've been there almost 20 years. So,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
It's been a
So,
minute.
Bill, did you get an
Yes.
engagement online?
Yeah. And I mean, that's a whole New York thing. That's my New York days. Um, yeah, I mean, we dated though. I mean, I met him online. It wasn't like we just dealt with each other online. We
Okay.
literally met and started dating as a result of that.
I love that. Okay, very good. So Joe says, yes, I think you might know him, male to the B, but guess what?
I know
I'm
he is.
not naming him. Okay,
Don't worry, I
yeah.
won't. I won't say anything. But I know I could feel. I've seen you guys in the same space before, and I could feel the energy. And it literally crossed my mind, Joe. I was like, he doesn't look younger than you, in my opinion. By the way,
Vanessa says, hello, everyone. Hey, Vanessa. I
Hey,
need some
Vanessa.
advice, folks. Okay, so she says, it's been since 2014 since I last went on a date. 2014? Jeez,
wow,
Louise.
girl,
Okay, so how many, that's what, 12 years?
woo.
Wow, that's a long time. So she's up there, Pamela. Should we ask Pamela because Pamela is 10 years.
Man, let me
Pamela
tell you,
looking
the
like
last guy that I dated, like it didn't turn out good. So don't ask me for for that advice.
it
She
wasn't
like,
good. Yeah,
Yeah, no, it was not good at all.
I would just
So,
say go with his flow. I would say go with his lead. You know,
mhm,
sometimes I would say a date can be awkward if the guy's not chatting too. You know what I mean? Like you feel like you
yeah.
have to like fill the space and chat. But you're good at that, Joe. You're very you can think off the cuff. I can see you being, good at asking questions without asking questions that's gonna make him, feel uncomfortable and tell his whole life story. Now, what do you
Mhm.
ladies think about that? They say you shouldn't ask questions about an ex on the first date. Do you think there's some
No.
validity to that?
on
Yeah.
the first
And
on
on
the
the
first
first date,
yeah.
don't talk about exes.
Yeah, why are you talking about an ex on the first date? Now, if we're moving forward
Yeah.
and we're gonna obviously, have conversations about who we are and our past and stuff, but that
Mhm.
comes down the line. I'm like Pamela, if me and you are going, if we're going out on a date, that's a date. You my friend. We
Yeah.
friends. Period. I'm gonna have all friends until I'm engaged. If we're not engaged,
Oh, you're putting it on like that till you're engaged. He's not locking it down
If
until
he
you're
like it,
engaged.
they'll put a ring on it, huh? Now.
if you like
All
it, then
single
you
ladies, all the single ladies.
You know that
Okay,
fiance, right?
well,
So yeah. I'm cracking myself up. I'm so silly.
now I'm gonna say now to me, this is a good sign for him. The fact that because he's a content creator too, if I'm not mistaken, the fact that he wants to keep it private also, and it could I don't
Mhm.
know that he agreed to do that or you who's ever, idea it was. I think that's great. I think that means like he really wants to have a genuine connection with you because I think if you filmed it and showed it right away or whatever, it would be performative. Do you know what I mean? It could possibly be performative. So I love that move. So he gets like, if this is the tally, I'm gonna give him a tally. Let's see if he can get 5 before you sign out of here, Joe. All right, so he has 1 tally. Okay, well, no, 2
Mhm.
because he sent you. I'm gonna give him 3 because he
Right,
sent
for all
you
the flowers
flowers,
and the
sunflowers,
balloons.
balloons, and the bear. Oh gosh, the bear of it all. I love that. That's just so sweet. Like the fact that he sent that teddy bear, that's a good sign. That tells he
Mhm.
has like a softer, gentler side, if you ask me. Um, so yeah, okay, all right. And she said, that's new. 15 years, LOL. Okay, okay, all
Girl, stop aging yourself.
right. Okay, so
Anywho,
Joe says, I remember having a lovely light growth account. I don't know what that is.
that's something must be in the UK.
Okay,
Is it
you
like
guys know what
young?
that is.
Maybe the L is London. What does that? What's that acronym stand for, Joe?
And then Brenda is saying, Joe is saying Brenda and her husband are a gorgeous couple. I would second that. Love that. And I know
Yeah.
Miss Brenda is possibly going out to dinner and having a nice dinner. I hope you decided to go have a nice dinner with your husband. I hope so. She says, Bellflower says, let me say, maybe not new, but way more in common and prevalent than
Yeah,
it was back in the day. Yes, now that is true. Very
I
true. I
will
would
agree
say
with
that
that.
too. You said, and Reset with Anissa says, yes, not on the first date, but if we are entering relationship territory, that's a whole different
Right.
story. Okay. All right.
Agreed.
All right. Now, would you meet the ex? Would you meet the ex? Because I watched this show called Ready to Love, and one of the things that they do,
Oh,
it's a dating show on the OWN Oprah network, even though she's not, it's not her network anymore. But anyway, so one of the things they do is when they get probably like 75%, to the end of the show, they meet the exes, like, they have that meet the ex. So would you do that? Like, is that something you would welcome, like your new potential meeting an ex? Pamela, would you do that?
I think it would depend on the situation. Like, how far in a relationship were, if they were married and they had kids together, definitely, because that child could potentially become my stepchild, and and I would want to have some type of relationship with the ex at that point, and a good relationship if if possible. But if it's just somebody you dated for 3 months, why am I meeting them? What do they have to do with this? Now, if we cross paths and we just happen to run into her and he says, "Oh yeah, that was my ex," that's different. But just to sit down and have a what am I meeting her for?
Oh, no, that's
I
right.
mean,
Okay, Pamela.
I
We like
mean, am I trying to get dirt or what? Like, what's the point? I don't get it. Is she still around? And if that's the case, then
Well, see that I
we
think that.
need to have some other discussions. Because
So that's the good
why?
part, because some of the, when some of the exes come on, you can tell, like they tell you things, and sometimes it confirms what some of the women thought, was
hmm
their thing. And like I remember this one episode where the guy she said, did he tell you what color he wants your nails to be yet? And she said, no, I wear my nails whatever color I feel like wearing my nails. And she said, no, not with him. So she said, so she asked him, is that true? And he said, yeah, I
Yeah.
prefer my women to wear this, and that. So that's something he probably wouldn't have revealed until they actually started dating. So which makes you think like he has to be very controlling, right? To want to control
Mhm.
that. So
Also, there's also, pardon me 1 second, on that note, I believe that what a man does with one woman is not necessarily how he's going to treat the next woman. Because just because he
Very
wants you to
true.
wear white nails, that ninja is not going to be over here telling me how to wear my nails. And
Exactly.
men know what they can get away with when it comes to
Mhm.
women. So yeah, and you don't have to, you can live in your feminine energy without being aggressive or without being a boss all the time. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying that if a man came stepping to me asking me about what color to wear my nails, and by the way, it's happened to me before, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that does not sit well. That doesn't
Yeah.
sit.
Yeah. Now, if he came and said, "Hey, we're gonna go out tonight. Do you mind wearing your red dress and do your nails red or whatever?"
Yeah,
And it's just like
that's
a
different.
one-time thing, or
That's my man.
that's different. But you gonna tell me on a daily basis what to wear? No. But the thing that I would be cautious about meeting an ex is you don't know what type of animosity or what type of feelings that
Yes.
she has for that person. So what she's telling you may or may not even be true. What if she's trying to get him back and she's just telling you what she want to tell you so that you'll feel some kind of way towards him? That's why I would be very skeptical about
I would
listening to
drop
what she
him
have to say.
like a hot potato if he even insinuated. I would block him. I'm the queen of block. I literally blocked my most recent ex on every social media, not
Mhm.
that I'm even active. Instagram, everything, even LinkedIn, because he was trolling around. I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah.
And yeah, WhatsApp, iMessage, because that people can look you up on iMessage. Like it's just everything. I blocked him. So yeah, he would be blocked with the quickness, and yeah, it wouldn't work.
I'm like you, Mel. The last guy that I dated, I blocked him on everything. And we didn't meet on social media, but we reconnected, I guess, on social media. He was a cousin, a brother, or something. He was related to a friend of mine. And so we had met out and about before, and then we connected through social media. I blocked him on everything except for TikTok because I never really used my TikTok. And then I got, I would get notices somebody sent you a message or somebody looked at your profile. I start getting these messages that he's looking at my profile on TikTok. And I'm like, what? I gotta go block him on that too.
Okay. LinkedIn though, I gotta block you on LinkedIn.
Right.
That's weird.
That's
But
too much.
yeah, it's like there is no reason for us to have any conversation. We don't need to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. Like, why are you still
Right.
trying to call me? What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Well,
And see, with my
honey, baby girl,
situation, when we stopped talking, I was trying to have a conversation with him to, clear the plate. Just you want to walk away, that's fine, but let's just clear the air so there's no animosity between us.
right, yes.
And you didn't want to have a conversation then, so don't try to have a conversation now. There's nothing we've got to say to each other.
I have
she
moved
said,
on.
well, let me say this about the ex, and then I'll tell you. Now let me say this first. I've never
We're acting a fool. We're not acting like anybody who want to be booed up. We acting like we don't want to be booed up. We're like,
no,
I'm bringing Mel over to the dark side.
Oh my God. Well, I'm telling you, okay, so would I want to meet somebody's ex? No. But I will say, watching that show, you do see some exes that you think like, you're too cozy. Like, it's like she's putting her hand on his knee, their hug, that hug that's like not the pat hug, but like the hug. Like, so giving hugs like that. So that would kind of make me weary. Now, in real life, because that's a TV show, and I'm sure some of it's for TV, value or whatever. But I do think it gives you a little bit of insight. But I've never had to block somebody. I told you, I've had the same number for 32 years, the same exact phone number. Never had to change. That's how drama free I am. I love it. But I will consider blocking somebody now that I know you can block. How do you know you can block everywhere? Okay, you can block folks. I'm going to start blocking folks. You get a block. You get a block. You get a block.
Yes. People get so offended when you block them, and I don't even understand. And my sister, everybody is like, Mel, why are you always blocking people? Because I don't want people to have access to me and be in my business. You're not going to have the pleasure of looking at what I'm doing, where I'm going on vacation. Not that I post any of that, by the way, guys. I don't really do that. But what I'm doing at work, like, no, you're not going to have, you're going to be over there. What's she doing? That's what you're going to be doing. What you're not going to do.
This is what you're going to have. You're going to have this anonymous viewer that's telling you, start a YouTube channel. Start a YouTube channel. And then you're going to start this YouTube channel, and that's really going to be your ex-boyfriend or some boyfriend following you around. I got to worry about that too. Like, oh God, I hope they don't run across my video. Jeez Louise. And then they probably know it's them. And then they'd be like watching what I'm doing. And oh God, I'm like, gee. Do you worry about that, Pamela? Like one of your ex-boyfriends checking you out?
Not really. I mean,
you're showing a little bit of skin too with that Ayuga. You're gonna have them going.
I need to get like Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Put everybody to shame, okay?
I love it.
I don't have enough.
She said, I don't have enough. That is funny. We have some guys in the chat. We got Roundbound and Zetbound. We got, Devin, how are you? My God, Devin, how are you doing? Devin was giving somebody the side eye. Who is it? Roundbound says you're blocked on LinkedIn. Okay, I want to go back to Anissa's comment. She says, I accidentally met the ex because we arrived at the same time. She was late to pick up their son, and I was early for the day. Okay, well, what went down? What went down? So how was she? Was she nice? Was she polite? Was she looking you up and down? what was going on. Devin saying happy Valentine's Day. So sweet.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Devin.
Happy Valentine's Day.
You're sweet.
Let's see. Oh, Joe says no feet, no talk about the ex, no aggressiveness. Oh, okay. All right. I love that. Vanessa says, Joe, just have a good old fashioned good time. I love that. Yeah, just keep it light, and keep it, joyful, I think. Yeah, I think you're blocking people on LinkedIn. You mean business. And of course, that's wait a minute. Pamela might be tougher than me over here. Pamela is like, she is not having it. She said he stalked you all the way down, Pamela. Block. That is too funny. That stalking stuff is no joke, though. That's kind of scary.
No
and
joke.
Don't try to figure out where I'm going and who I'm with if it's over.
Oh, you know what? Real quick, let me tell you something, because you mentioned that stalking, and just for real, if you feel like you being stalked, you have any type of idea, be careful out there, because I had a guy walk to my job, which was like a 20 to 30-minute drive. He walked to my job. This was 25, 30. This had to be, this had to be about 30 years ago. And this was, yes, he showed up at my job. Luckily, I worked at a hospital. So it was like, a public place where there was security. But yeah, that stalking is no joke. So
yeah.
Well, yeah, and you know what? I've had a parent do that, so I'm gonna tell that story once I retire. You're not gonna believe it.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it has some things going on. But so anyway, that stalking is no joke. And you know what? I think that's part of the reason why I'm so like private and scary, because I've had like 2 cases of that, and it is pretty scary. And when people can't let go, that's just like a sign that you're not stable. So yeah, and then I've had some things. Once I retire, I'm gonna be spilling the beans. I might start a separate podcast for some of my stories. Have some of my teacher friends come on too. Okay, all right. So we got Simply Taisha is in the house. Okay. She said, been here the entire time. Okay. She says, no, I don't feel different. I'm not big on holidays. For Joe, I thought the song Computer Love, no to chatting about the exes. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no to chatting about the exes on the first date. So if he brings that up, you got to steer him away from that, Joe. Because sometimes the men do it. They want to know.
A lot of times.
A lot of the questions are like, what happened with you and your ex? How come you're not together again? Those sort of questions. And I would steer away from that. Oh, yeah, we love the computer love, computer love. Remember, it didn't Roger, I think he passed on. Oh, my gosh. I used to love that song. Computer love. Okay, so let me ask the people in the chat. So this is we're going to play a quick little game here. We're going to get you guys involved. This is called self-care or people pleasing. Self-care or people pleasing. So I'm going to just give you a statement. I want you in the chat to put self-care if you think it's a self-care act, or people pleasing if it's something you would do just to be a people pleaser. Who are you guys? Would you consider yourself a people pleaser, Pamela?
I would say I used to be, but not so much anymore.
Okay. All right. What about you, Mel?
Yeah, I probably have a little bit of that. Yeah, I actually do, especially my family. I told you about that incident where everybody was basically up in arms because nobody could get in touch with me after 45 minutes. I'm like, have y'all lost your mind? Because they're so used to being able to call me and text, and I'm picking up right away, and what do you need, and this and that. So I think with family, in particular, people close to me in general, yeah, I'm kind of low-key a people pleaser. Yeah, I would say I do have some of that. And my answer
is the same too. I would say, like, with my family and friends, definitely. But that's the thing. I've just been so labeled as like a nice person, which I am, and I'm proud of that. But I'm telling you, I learned how to say no and have boundaries and like mean it, like a hard no. It's such a good feeling when you have a hard no and you don't regret it. Like before, I would have a hard no, but then I would have a soft sleep night, right? I couldn't sleep because I'd be thinking like, "Dag, I should have said yes. Dag, I should have did this." It stems from an incident. I'm telling you, when I retire, I'm gonna spill some beans. It stems from this incident, and I think it's, as I think back, like it really made me feel bad and like always think like, how does the other person feel and this, that. And actually, Mel is so good about even moving me on from that because I've been like that on this GLP-1 journey. But, so yeah, I think it's, being a people pleaser, it has its place, but I think that you have to have boundaries and standards. And, you gotta have to have set boundaries for your family and friends too, because, make them, don't call them right back so they can normalize the fact that you might not always answer on that first, second ring. Like my dad does the same thing. If I don't answer, he questions me. But if I call and he doesn't answer, it's like, oh, I was doing this and doing that. It's no big deal. But when I do it, it's like, all HELL breaks loose. So it's so funny. All right. So here are the statements. All right, so the first one is, if you cancel a date because you're exhausted, is that self-care or is that people-pleasing? What do you guys think? You could put SC or PP. PP doesn't sound so good. PP. What do you think? The boundaries of it. Oh, yes. Once I learned to do that, it was so empowering. Absolutely. I agree. All right. All right, so we got a couple of people saying self-care. Oh, that's Pamela. Pamela, your picture is so super cute. Wait a minute. I'm just paying attention to it. Oh, look at
that's my chat GPT.
Oh, I didn't realize you changed it. Oh my gosh, so
yes,
cute.
I
It's
love it.
GPT. Okay.
The hair is everything. It's like everything.
Just like you.
I love it. Okay, I'm like, wait a minute. Something is different. Okay. All right. So we have a lot of self-care. There's a you guys hear that echo? So we got a lot of self-care. All right, here we go. The self-care of it all. Very good. Yeah, I would think that's self-care. What about eating food that you don't want just to be polite? Is that self-care or is that people-pleasing?
PP. That I'm not going to
do. I'll try it, but if I don't like it, yeah, I'm not going to eat it.
I won't even try. I'll just be like, no. My mom will be, if we're somewhere, she'll be side-eyeing me like, try it. I'm like, mm-mm.
I don't know where did it start with Mel? I don't know if it started with the people pleasing. Okay. All right, very good. People pleasing, Joe says, and I've done that in the past and not anymore. So what made you decide not anymore, Joe? Because I have a feeling a lot of people have done that in the past, because I've done that in the past too. Now I don't have any qualms about saying no thank you, or I don't want to eat that. So what made you do something different? People pleasing. Okay, very good. All right, so we agree on that. What about explaining your GLP-1 to someone who hasn't earned access to you? So explaining it to people who just are like your friends or people at work who you really think like, they don't need to know, but do you feel like you have to like be honest and tell them? Do you think that's people pleasing or self-care? I'm going to say that's self-care to me. If I go ahead and explain it when I don't want to, that's people pleasing. But if I, say, I'm not telling them like, no, they don't need to know. Then I think
that's kind of how I took it, was that it's self-care to not.
Yeah, feel like
nobody has ever even really asked me about anything having to do with that. And now it's literally, I feel like history since it was in 2024 that I started. So what was that? We're in 2026. Oh my God, has it been 2 years? That's crazy. That is cray in March. That is so crazy. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. To me, like, why are we, unless you want me to talk to you about all the health stuff, which is what I do. And then people be like, oh. Don't get her started.
Joe is so funny. She says, thankfully, I have a health condition to blame it on, like Mel B's mom. My mother has mastered the side eye of it all. I love that. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
The side eye. Mel has a
Mhm.
nice side eye too. Now, don't be fooled. Talking
I
about her
get it
mother.
from my mama.
Get it from my mama. I get it from my mama.
She get it from
I
her
used to be,
mama.
Ann says, I used to be a people pleaser so bad. I got tired of being walked all over and feeling horrible. Having boundaries is self-care.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Amen.
And as women, I think when you put it in perspective with like your family and your a male or female or husband, wife, but when you put it in the perspective of your kids, I feel like we're walked on a lot with our kids. Like we do a lot for the kids, right? And what do you guys think about that? Because somebody was giving me advice, not me. Somebody gave my friend advice, and they were telling her, it was another married couple that had been married for years and years and years, and she said they told her that you need to go with your husband, like you and your husband need to be united because the kids are going to leave, and if you push your spouse away, then what are you going to do when the spouse is gone? And so I think that that's a important thing. It's tough raising kids. I can't even imagine when you don't really align with the values of raising kids. Like that must be, can wreak havoc on a household. Let's see. What are people saying? Okay, let me see. Do you guys hear that echo? Can you hear the echo in the chat?
I was gonna say, is it my microphone maybe?
I think it might be Pamela.
Here,
When
let me.
somebody's talking, we could just mute. Oh, it might be hard to do that. She says, smash the like button. We have 50 people watching. Thank you for hitting the like. We love that.
A lot of people, yeah.
Brenda Marlene, yes, she says. Okay, so this is the next question. Gosh, I have a lot of questions. We won't get to them all, but this is the next question because I think this reminds me of a GLP-1 journey. And I have this video I want to show. It's more specifically to dating. And then I want to talk about menopause and the libido of it all before we get off the line. So I want to know, has your confidence changed since you started your GLP-1 and you've lost weight? Pamela, has your confidence changed at all?
Yes, definitely.
In what way? Do you notice yourself being
I
more?
mean, I guess because I had gotten to the point, and just being real, because I know everybody says love yourself regardless of what size you are and all that, but I didn't love myself at a larger size. I would look at the mirror and I'd be disgusted with myself because I knew that wasn't me. And I would never look at somebody else and be disgusted with them, but looking at me in the mirror and what I saw, I was not happy with it at all. And every time I would put on an outfit to go out somewhere, I would look at myself in the mirror and I'd be like, you just, in my mind, I'd be like, you look disgusting, And I'm thinking, I'm going out with my friends. I was always in my mind, and I wasn't now looking back, but in my mind, I was always the big one out of our group of our circle of friends. And that's just how I saw myself all the time. But now when I look at myself, I'm like, I'm happier with what I see. I'm still not completely satisfied with what I see. I still see all the flaws and I'm like, okay, I could do this and I can do that, or, but I feel like I look so much better than I did a year ago, 5 years ago, And so that just makes me feel better about myself. And then when I go out, I'm getting compliments, from people who wouldn't have even looked at me twice 5 years ago. So that helps build up your confidence too.
Mm.
I agree. I have to get a cough drop. My throat is like, got something going on. But anyway, Mel, what are you more confident? Because I know you had issues and we're feeling not so hot about your midsection.
Yeah, I don't I'm so critical of myself. Like I'm always striving to do better and more, and I'm not in that mentality of I'll sleep when when I'm no longer here or whatever, like some people. But I'm definitely always striving for better. But yeah, I feel like my confidence has always really been there. I not a hu- I just don't see a huge difference. And for the record, I'm still over here working on my abs, and I'm still not completely satisfied. It don't, you know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
for me, it's just like a journey. This health journey has just been incredible because I keep giving myself micro goals and building micro habits, the whole
Mhm.
atomic habits mindset kind of thing. So yeah. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say I feel like I was confident then, twisting around here. Definitely had more. It was, I look back on some of those pictures, and there's some mourning, to be honest with you, because I felt like I was like, there's slight mourning because I was getting really comfortable in that menopausal body of mine. I wasn't considered obese. I was overweight, and I was on the verge of high blood pressure medicine, statins,
Mhm.
and all of that stuff. So for me, it was really a health journey anyway. But anyway, yeah, so I digress. No, I think I'm about where I was. Oh, I can take you on a tangent, okay? I can do that.
Yeah, I would say I'm more confident now, but I've just been a pretty big confident girl for the most part. Um, yeah, but I got to a point where I was like uncomfortable. Well, I got so uncomfortable and I don't like to wear Spanx. So when I got to the size where Spanx wasn't even hiding my row, where I couldn't hide my rows in the clothes and all of that,
Mhm.
I was like, I'm not wearing Spanx. I was already so uncomfortable, and I thought, dang, I just can't be out and about because I'm not putting on Spanx and I'm not going out with these rolls showing. And so that kind of shook my confidence a little bit. And then I just didn't go out. And the funny thing is, not going out caused me to gain more weight, right? Because I'm sitting at home, I'm
Yep.
feeling bad that I'm not out and about. And one of my friends, she was
Exactly.
like, I'm not like a go out to the bar type person. I'm more of like a lounge kind of thing. But I have a friend who tears these bars up. And she would call me and be like, such and such want you to come up here, which would be a guy. Such and such, guy we knew from high school, or they want to see you, Shay. Da, da, da. And I'd be like, I'm not going, I'm not going. So I would just pray like nobody saw me out and about because I was just not cool with how I looked. But I will say, I always presented myself well, I think. And some of my friends would say, like, when they talk about like, oh, we need stuff to wear a bigger size or whatever, when they would gain weight, they're like, we gotta call Shay. Because I always had like cute, stylish clothes. And people always ask where I shop at. And this is one of the things. Did you guys ever feel like this? When you're plus size is a certain size, it's only so many places you can shop. Let's be real.
Mhm.
Like Blame
Yep.
Bryant for it. When all online shopping came out, it became more you have more choices. But I'm telling you, I've never seen anybody in anything I've ever worn before. And I always used to be so afraid that I would go out and see somebody with something I had on, and I was thinking like, gosh, this person's gonna be, it just was a reality. Like I'm just, I think that's so big, right? And I used to say like, oh my gosh, that's another thing that kept me wanting to be in the house. But I would shop at places like Nordstrom's. I would shop at Nordstrom Rack, they had plus size things. I would shop at some of the more higher end places, and I noticed like the clothing would be, the quality of it was really good. So I think when you shop at like, like the Sheins and the Temu's of the world, which is great, that's okay too. But you're gonna probably see a lot of folks in there. And I always felt like the clothes, like once you wash them, it was a wrap. Like it didn't look like it. The string kind of hang, and that's why I love Ayuga, because even though it's not expensive, when you watch it, still looks the same. I mean, it makes a difference. And then, my mom would say, my mom was very into, did you guys have a Dots? Do you know what a Dots is?
Mhm.
Oh my God. I used to be so jealous because my mom could go in and shop anywhere, right? She was so tiny. She could shop in Dots, and she would have her a whole outfit. And I said, now, Mom, why would you pay $20? I felt like she paid $20 to get her outfit dry cleaned when it cost $15 because she got it from.
That's
Okay,
cute.
I told you on one of your lives way back when. I still have a sweater in my closet from Dots that I couldn't wear for the longest, but it was so cute. I can wear it now. And
Wow.
it's still in
We
good
don't
condition.
we don't have Dots. I have no
You
idea
don't
what
have the
Dots is.
Dots?
No.
And
Never
all
heard
the
of it.
clothes were $10. Then they started getting
Uh-huh.
$15 and $20. It wasn't anything really over 20. And then when it was a sale, it was $7,
Yeah.
$5. Sometimes you would get
Right. I think I paid
$2.
$7 for that sweater.
Yes, 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 yes. So those kind
Mhm.
of places I would, shop at. But I used to just be like, oh gosh, like, yeah, that was the thing. I would just be like, I can't be out. I can't be seen because I can't fit anything. So it's so nice to, and then I was always known, like I said, as the posters, plus size girl that had the cute clothes. So if I felt like I wasn't looking cute, I was like not taking my buns outside.
Right.
So yeah, it's something. But then my confidence level is up now,
Mhm.
even more. Jeez, Louise, do I got a big head?
You say even
I know
more.
I have a
I
big
love
head, but
it.
do I have a big head? You know, I have a big head. Uh, all right, Angie says, we saw that. You look at her picture; it's so cute. This Chat
That is so
GTP, or
cute.
is it
That
GPT? Whatever
coffee,
it is.
GPT.
we have that in common, that coffee. And my chat GPT knew I've never talked about coffee. Well, that's not true. I was looking for an organic, clean espresso. So maybe that's why I talk about coffee a lot, I guess.
I think this happened to a lot of people. People didn't realize how big they became during that pandemic. That's when I started. That's when I got over 300. I actually got up to 316. And by the time I, dieted down because I knew I had to go back to the doctor, and I was under 3, and then I gained. By the time I started Manjaro, I had gained that back, and I got to 306.4. So that's how but my highest weight, and I'm telling you, before I started this, my mom never knew my weight. I never told anybody my weight. It was just like it's something you don't tell. It's like how some people are with their age. That's how I was with my weight. My doctor is the only person that knew. So I just can't believe I'm on here. Let me pinch myself.
Yes, pinch.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I've always felt that way, as Pamela describes, always disgusted and embarrassed. Aw. Yeah. I think a lot of people have felt that. And not for nothing, society makes you feel that way too. You get the looks and the stares. And then even if you don't get the looks and the stares, you get embarrassed because you can't fit into stuff, right? The seats don't fit, trying to squeeze. Have you ever been to a restaurant? This is one of my great non-scale victories. Going to a restaurant and having to squeeze in to sit. Sometimes they have tables that don't move,
Or the booths.
and then
Yeah.
I would sit there and my boobs would be like glued to it. I'd be stuck to it. I couldn't really move. So now I have space and room. So I think that that's great. But
Or going on an airplane and those seats are like this big to begin with, and then you've got the whole row is full, so you all up on other people. That was horrible.
Mel is staying fabulous. I told Mel I like to say I'm luxuriating. So now when I call Mel, she's like, well, we got to get off this phone so we can luxuriate. I love it. I love it. And my daughter's been saying that too. Mom. Okay. My daughter's been saying, Mom, I got to luxuriate. I'm like, geez, love. Okay. All right. Menopause came during the height of the pandemic for me. Wow. So are you doing anything to treat your symptoms of menopause, Anissa? Let's see. Let's see. She said that must be a blessing and a curse. Yes, yes, for sure. Yes, uncomfortable. Yes, this uncomfortableness of being overweight. That was the thing for me, even more so than the looks, because you see yourself every day. You're starting to get bigger. You can see like your cheeks are puffier. I could really see it in my face, in my body. I was trying to walk past the mirror. I wasn't really trying to look at myself. But that face, you can't hide because I'm brushing my teeth and I'm in there washing my face and stuff. But once I started to feel uncomfortable and stuff I couldn't fit. I felt like I was like what do you call that? Outcast in society because you couldn't fit in seats, you couldn't fit in chairs. My daughter and I go to the theater.
Yeah.
And we go see musicals and plays. And, I would take her, and I like to be up front because I can't see that hot now that my eyes are 53. So I like to be in the first couple rows. Well, then you got to go through all these people. And I used to make sure I had a seat on the end so that I could, if I had to go to the bathroom, I wouldn't have to be going past all those people. So now I don't worry about it as much anymore, doing that. But it's just like to think about that. It's just, that stuff is so heavy. I don't think people realize how stressful that is, because that's like unnecessary stress. Like you're just trying to go and enjoy the program and you're thinking about all the other stuff that shouldn't mean a whole lot, but it does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not satisfied with my abs either. I think the surgeon could have removed more in the upper area. Even another surgeon I saw Monday, Pammy Whammy, said he could take more off in the FDL area. Oh my goodness. So are you going to do that? Well, I know you said if your insurance covers it, you're going to do it. You'll go under the knife. See, I'm afraid of doing all that. But I'm working on being okay with it. Okay. All right. Well, I say do you, whatever makes you happy. Brenda, you have a beautiful spirit that shines bright. You're beautiful because you're beautiful. Excellent. I love that.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Pammy, you look incredible. Yes, Pamela. But I can see.
I think she's talking about Pammy.
Yeah,
Pammy
Whammy.
Yeah.
When you tweak something and you're constantly looking, I'm telling you, being on YouTube is not for the weary, because when you see yourself on here, you want to tweak this and tweak that. And I see why now. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to do this, but I see why celebrities tweak and then they go a little bit too far. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always like you're trying to figure out the next thing to do. And it's hard to be okay with yourself when you have trolls in the comments. And I think if you've already been teased and called names and have like a low self-esteem, somebody could come along and say, Shay, your hair is whack. Your hair is not cute. Or, if I have like my stomach, I always talk about my stomach. Your stomach is not going down. Your stomach is still fat. If I had like a self-consciousness about that would probably drive me over the edge, where I'm like doing some extreme stuff, trying to lose weight or even going to get lipo sucked out. I see why people do all that. I think in order to be on here on YouTube or in front of any kind of camera, you really do have to have some high self-esteem, or either you have to be able to ignore folks. One of the two. Because if you don't, I think they could really tear you down. So I see why these celebrities. And then just think if we had if we had producers and they were telling us, well, you got to look a certain way. You got, 14 is not 14, 16 Shay is not good enough. We need you at a size 12 by, by March 1st. Then just think of how the extremes you go through. That's why people always tell me, we go in stores and stuff, and people at the stores like Children's Place, you guys know what that is? Children's Place. I've even had it in Nordstrom's, where some of the people that were there, the managers and stuff, say, oh, your daughter's so beautiful. Do you want to, we have a modeling thing coming up, or we have like a cause or whatever. And is that something she would want to participate in? And I just thought, I just think that that's just too much for a kid. Like, how do you deal with that when they want you to be a certain way and look a certain way? And they do that with kids too, believe it or not. They start out young. And I just think she's such an easy spirit. I just don't see a reason to do that to her. But that could just be me at being overprotective. But yeah. All right. So where do we leave off at? Let's see. A Midwest store. Oh, are you talking about Dots or Children's Place? Maybe she's talking about Dots.
I think Anissa asked up in there a little bit what was Dots.
Oh, okay.
And no, it's not Midwest because I'm Texas, so.
And you have the Dots too. Okay, I wonder.
I don't think they're not around anymore.
I was gonna say our Dots closed down. Now they have a Rose. I've never been in it, but I hear it sounds like, except for it reminds me of like a discounted Target or something. You know what Rose is? ROSE. I hear about that, and I've never been in it. Okay, all right. Let's see. Let's see. I hear some. I didn't see Doses of Shawnee. Is she in here? Hi, Doses of Shawnee. If you're in here, I haven't seen her.
Yeah, I haven't seen her.
Oh, okay. Okay, Davina, how are you? She says, I find it interesting when losing weight, people will say something, but when your back is getting big, no one dare says a word. Please tell me if I'm on the verge of looking like what is that? Rastapia? What's that word, ma'am?
Rasputia from oh God, what's the movie?
Oh, you crack me up.
People say that. People say because it's not polite. That's why it's not polite to tell somebody you're getting fat, your back is getting big. Like it's not polite to say that. But to tell somebody that they look slim, or to tell somebody they're too slim, is almost like a compliment.
Thank you, Norbit.
Norman,
I
okay.
could not think of the name of
Yeah, I couldn't either. Okay, yeah.
People are used to, that still that thing about being slim and skinny is still considered a privilege.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's
that's
why.
plenty talk of it all. Like there's just it's just what it is. It is so like there's a well, we know we have a lot of mental illness anyway in the world today and in our country. We have a lot of mental illness. So, and people should seek therapy, not when you need it, when you think you need it. Seek therapy, especially in this journey. I remember somebody was shooting down Allie because she suggested that it might be a good idea for people to look at
Yeah.
the option of therapy. And they were shooting poor Allie down. God knows I don't agree with everything Allie has to say. If you're watching, I do like you, but I don't necessarily know everything she has to say. But I thought she was right there, and I didn't think they treated her right. She was very upset about it because some of her, that's like me shooting you down publicly, Dee Dee. You see what I'm saying? Like she
Yeah.
had her ride or dies doing that, and it really
Yeah.
hurt her. But yeah, there's a lot of mental illness, and it impacts how we treat ourselves, how we treat others, and even if you shed all the weight, there's just this other stuff in you, in your heart, your mind that also has to be dealt with. So
Yeah. But
Well, we
I
love
think that was more so, I think that's more so people that are just so against mental health. There's still that stigma around seeing a psychiatrist or a therapist, and there
yeah,
shouldn't be because you're
yeah.
trying to do something to better yourself.
yeah.
I would agree with that. Brenda said, Miss Mel, you're so pretty. I'm so jealous of you, but so happy for you. You're aging so lovely and you look so
Thank
healthy and
you.
glowing. Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
sweet, Miss Brenda.
It's sweet.
She says, you're all beautiful, elegant ladies. Dee Dee and Pam, all three of you are so elegant and
Oh,
beautiful. We
thank
appreciate that.
you. Thank you.
Let's see. Oh, so you're submitting approval for a breast lift too. I said, I don't want implants. I just don't want hanging socks. Y'all,
You know
I'll do
what?
what I can get covered first. I heard that. You know what? Good for you if that's what you want to do. Geez, Louise, I've always said no elective surgery for me, but a girl has a right to change her mind. So I never say never because you just don't know what you might do and what direction God takes you in, what direction you will go. Okay, all right. You said, I feel the same level of confidence I had when I used to drink. And so, drinking will give people that confidence, won't it? And I think
Liquid courage. They call it liquid
a lot of people,
Liquid courage, right?
I think that's why they drink because it gives them that courage. They say and do, you could be, your defenses are kind of let down, right? And you could be more, probably be more open with yourself. So thank you for that. That was an honest reflection. I think a lot of people have that. All right, so now I want to go into talking about dating and
Yes.
and the sex life of it all, because I haven't experienced this, but I'm going to tell you, a lot of women say that they don't have like a sex drive, and I will say one of the things I like about not being married, when I was single and was out there mingling, I was having a lot of good fun, and my married friends were not. And I said, will I ever want to get married? Like I had to ask myself that. Do I want to get married? Because I feel like when you're married and you're in a partnership, the day-to-day grind of everyday life. Now I know these married beauties in the chat, you could speak up if you need to, but I'm just saying, if I line you up with you're sleeping next to it every night, and I line you up with somebody that's not, I guarantee you they're probably having more than you. And why is that? Why is that? So I say to myself, do I ever really want to get married? Because I feel like it just goes downhill for some of us than others. And I think a lot of women in menopause or perimenopause don't realize that they're going through some things when they're not as juicy as they used to be. And instead of them fixing that, they maybe use that Vaseline stuff, which I don't want that in my cuckoo at all. Okay, I don't want that, but I want to be naturally juicy if I can be. So I think when a lot of women go wrong when they just don't fix it. And then, your what is your husband left to do, or your mate, whatever, your husband, your wife,
Yes.
whatever. What are they to do? So I wanted to talk about the libido of it all. So if you guys were in a relationship, or you got to that point where intimacy was involved, and you weren't juicy, what would you do, Pamela? What would you do?
Well, putting all my cards out on the table. My last, I'm not going to say relationship because it wasn't a relationship. The one that I blocked off of everything, him, that didn't end well. It did get to that point, and that was before, I wasn't on any type of hormone therapy at that point, and I had not prior to that been with anybody in quite some time. So I had no idea how painful it was going to be without it being juicy. And
Yes.
so, yeah, it was difficult.
And if it's painful, you're not going to want to do it. So
Right.
I think that's really, because I
Yeah.
think, we have established, not all women and men, but a lot of times a man, and I can see why, right? Men's sex drives tends to be for higher for some. And
Yeah.
Joe, you got this young whippersnapper you about to snatch up. Get ready. Now I used to hear that. People used to say, I heard like my mom even said this. My mom, a lot of my aunts, my mom's friends, they would say when you get older, your libido increases. And I was like, dang, I can't wait to see this happen. But when I got in my 40s, it was no joke. My libido did increase. Now I don't know what it is now because I've been on a dry spell. But I say to myself, if I got to that point where I wasn't in juicy land, like I got to do something. I don't know. I cannot just be like letting it go. Like, yeah, that would send me to somebody's doctor or specialist ASAP.
Well, you already know, y'all are.
I know, I'm already going, but I'd be hitting up Mitty,
Look.
Alloy, Sally, Sue.
Look, y'all already know. You already know what I'm going to say.
Hallandale. Is Hallandale BHRT down for the
Yeah, Hallandale. I'll smuggle some to you.
Pamela, I'm coming to join you, Pamela.
Yeah. But look, the Uvafem, the Vagifem, these are non-systemic, topical, or inserting, materials that help to keep you juicy. The number one goal is to help fend off UTIs, help the tissue of the vagina, help it look better. So, I mean, all the things. So if women out there are struggling and they don't want to take an oral or a patch or anything, at least take the Vagifem. Yes, because you could be, some people say, I get aroused, I get wet on the outside. This has nothing to do with you mentally wanting to do it. It's the inside. Once somebody actually penetrates you inside, I've heard women describe it as razor blades. Like it's so dry.
Yes, I've heard that.
It's a runoff of estrogen. So yeah, that's not good. Now, mind you, when you pair a perimenopausal or menopausal woman with a male going through andropause, it is like the desert, the Sahara. It is like hell. Like it's so hilarious.
Not only that, but men who have type 2 diabetes have a hard time keeping it solid. I'm going to say, I'll call it solid. They have a hard time. So yeah. So I would say that should be a reason for you to, get control of your situation with that diabetes. It's just all those things, affect the sex life. So I think, Miss Brenda, I think she made that comment. A lot of divorce happens during menopause, and not just for the sexual reasons too. And I think Mel has talked about this, and this has been my experience with menopause. It hasn't been like the physical symptoms as much. It's been mostly like the brain fog of it all, the irritability of it all, like having like mood swings when I'm just pretty much like an even keel I always have a smile on my face for the most part. And when I noticed myself not having that or getting up, it was so hard for me to get up in the morning and get moving. And still, so, and I'm doing a lot better. So those some of the things I'm seeing, but I think you always hear the stereotypical menopause things. You don't hear about your vajayjay being dry down there. I never knew that was connected to menopause or perimenopause. I never knew that having, being moody and having mood swings and all of that. And sometimes they would say it's because you having a cycle, right? They blamed everything on your cycle.
Yeah, no.
And
you don't have one, and now blaming on that.
Yeah.
And
And to what Mel said, it would be like a monsoon on the outside, but the inside is the Sahara.
It's not good. It's not good. So take your Uvafem and your Vagifem, and I know there are people out there saying, "Well, I don't have that problem." Look, it catches up with you.
It catches up. Yeah, I never had this problem before.
And many women, and many women don't, because, and this is not a conversation we have, but remember, guys, the reason why our ancestors didn't have issues like that is because a lot of them died early.
Yeah.
Many of them died in childbirth. Many of them died before they reached menopause. But now, again, I'm going to stand 10 toes down on this. Now that we are living into our 80s, 90s, 100, we have to replace what we don't have for health span. We have to treat that. And if you were men and had testicles, no problem. Like, let's go and create a blue pill so that he can be hard. And but forget about ovaries and menopause and bone and heart. Forget about that for women. We're going to invest our money in a blue pill. So now that they're investing in us, we need to advocate and make sure everything.
You know why, Mel? Because if the man can't get erect, you can't do nothing really. With the women, they can still do it. It might be painful, but you can still do it.
Ooh.
Well, he can do something. He just can't do that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
y'all, look.
I'm just saying. Mel's getting out.
I agree, Tamika. It's deep tonight.
Yeah, Tamika came in. She came in maybe.
You came in right at the right time.
Yeah.
So what do you? So I saw this reality talk show. She's broken up with this guy, but I saw this reality, not a talk show. She's a reality housewives lady, and she said that her and her guy, he was a younger guy. She's I want to say she's in her mid 40s, and she said they were having sex 2 or 3 times a week, and I mean a day. And I was just like, geez, man, that's a lot going on. And so then she wanted to have a baby, and she started taking that fertility. Now, that just screwed up her system, that screwed up her libido. And then, needless to say, he was like, when is this going to be over? Like, it was on the show. They talked about it. And so they ended up breaking up, and she never did, get pregnant or have the baby. So I just think, and then so you throw in the child situation of it all too, and you have hormones and everything. So, I think it's really hard for married people. I really think it's hard for married people. I mean, it's so much you got to go through and deal with. And so being single, the only thing is, I just think God is watching me. I got to make good choices. So if it wasn't for that, I think I would say out of my head, I don't want to ever get married, because I just think I'd be a happy camper without being married.
I want a partner. I definitely want a partner. And if it's ordained for me to get married, because I believe our steps are ordered, but if it is ordained for me to be married again, because I have been, married, engaged 3 times, I've had I've had a good life, and I've been very blessed. So it could be a partner, because financially, at this age that we're at, that concerns me, and I want to make sure I'm with someone who I'm equally yoked with, if that's God's will. But he has to at least be able to take care of himself. So I say all that to say that I forgot where we were going with this, child. I'm all off on a whole nother tangent, but whatever. Bottom line is, men, please be patient with women. Please learn about what they're going through. I had a contingency of men at one of our national sales meetings about a year and a half ago. These are my peers, all men, white men in particular. No, I mean, we all good. I love my people. Everybody's my people. So I say that to say they were literally complaining about their wives in menopause and perimenopause. And I got them down, sat them down, and I calmed them down. And I said, this is what she needs to do. I literally was at a work event, after hours kind of event, talking to these men because they were literally, at least 4 of them, maybe 5, talking about the stresses and the wife. And I walked over, they were laughing about it. But once I got over there and I heard them talking, I started talking to them about all things. Okay. And they were like, wow, Mel, you should give a class. And I was like, anyway. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that.
I love that. I love that. So let me ask you guys, has your sex drive changed now since being on a GLP-1? And anybody out in the chat, has it changed? Do you notice yourself being, Paul said he's pearling out of here, but Brother Paul,
Paul
run.
Brother Paul, he's pearled out of here. Round Mound, are you in here?
No, he left. He left a long time ago.
He left.
RMZ he said he couldn't hear anymore because he was walking.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I want to know, ladies out there, has your sex drive changed since you've been on the GLP-1? Didn't they say like so many women were getting pregnant taking the GLP-1? Like they say, they were telling women, be careful. You know, if you don't want to.
My daughter did.
Pregnant. Oh, she did it while she was taking the GLP-1.
Yeah. My daughter, she's due next month.
I saw that picture you posted with you guys. That was so cute at the baby shower.
Thank you. Yeah, she was on a GLP-1 for 3 months and got pregnant, had to come off.
Oh, wow.
Oh, geez, Louise.
She's so cute. Such a cute, beautiful pregnant woman. Gorgeous.
Yeah, she really is. All your children are beautiful, though. Okay. Now, Davina had a good comment, but then she didn't. I don't know what happened to it.
I had to unhide it. The YouTube held it. I'm trying to.
Oh, okay. Was it risque?
Purple. Oh, she said, I know that these men aren't complaining with their pot bellies and lackluster hygiene. These balding scallywags. It makes you feel like there's some guy in YouTube land, like there's a negative comment about men. Because how would they pick this? And now Pam got hidden too.
Must have been a balding scallywag that hit it.
He said a balding scallywag.
That is hilarious.
He said, I feel offended.
Oh my goodness, that is so. I'm trying to unhide. I know Purple Bellflower has it, but the question was, what was the question again, Shay? Has your
sex drive changed since being on a GLP-1?
I don't know because I haven't dated anybody. I've dated myself for the past couple of years. March 20th years. I've been dating Mel. Mel is like, well, I'm the Mel B #1. But besides that, I like my own company. However, am I dating? Have I gone out on dates? Yes. Have I had some interesting situations? Yes. But I am definitely going to keep dating. But I don't play. I'm not playing with nobody. Like, if you're not my person, I don't date casually. I just don't do that. I know what I want. So there you go. I don't know what that means for me, but it's in God's hands.
So you're dating with intention?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. All right. I love that. Okay.
I guess that's why I'm not dating, because and not that I wouldn't date, but I don't feel like I trust that the men that I've met have the right intention. And so it's like, I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, Tamika said, yes, mine has. So her sex drive has changed, and I'm all the way not interested like that anymore. What? So what do you do? What does your hubby do? What do you guys do? What do you do? Are you on a schedule? What are you doing? Are you making it work?
Because it's like,
Louise.
I mean, I'm ready when God is ready. And again, I'm not a person that walks around and wears my spirituality or my religion on my shoulders, but I'm a deeply spiritual person. So my relationship with God is very quiet, it's very demure, like me. But the bottom line is that that's why I am like I am. That's why I'm so faithful. And I just have faith that what's meant for me is going to be for me. And I'm not going to manipulate it and push and try too hard. That's why, Shay, I told you that guy that I went out with had asked me out over the holidays. I went to 2 events with him and all of this, but I knew. And when I knew, I had enough respect for him and myself to be like, this is not it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is it. So.
Okay. So Pammy Whammy says, I'd say improved and more sensitive in the special spot. The GLP-1 has got you more sensitive in the special spot. Well, all right. I'm gonna have to give you some confetti behind that one. Jeez, Louise, the special spot of it all. That's for your hubby. Jeez, Louise. I love that. Okay, all right. Let's see. Joe says my libido has picked up massively. Well, you're gonna need it for your young whippersnapper, but that could be because of the She said that could be because of the day. Okay, all right. So that tells me that you really do like him too, right? It's a two-way connection. I love that. Is that such a good feeling? Don't you, the single ladies, don't you remember when you meet somebody new? It can be a little nerve-wracking and make you nervous, but it's also when you really do like somebody and you're vibing with them, it's such a great feeling because, you're still in that phase where they're trying to court you, date you, giving you compliments and all of that. Jeez, oh man. I'm about to go on datersanonymous.com.
It's nice. No, it's nice to get out and go out, but also men can be very intimidated by women. This whole red pill, blue pill thing that started several years ago, and there's like this competition. And that disappoints me when I hear men talking about like women so negatively and things like that, independent women, etc. But yeah, men can be very intimidated. They can either be intimidated by your intelligence, they can be intimidated because maybe you are living too much in your masculine energy, shall I say, or they can be intimidated because of the way you look. So there's a lot for them to struggle with. And so I do have empathy for men, and I do smile, and I am grateful when men come up or they compliment me. I'm always like, thank you. Even if they look a hot mess or whatever, the fact that somebody does that, I'm very, very grateful for that. So I feel for the men too.
So do you guys know who Wyclef John is? Is it John? Wyclef John? Someone please call 911. We got to get a Wyclef John up on Taisha's comment. Jeez, Louise. She said, I'm still not interested in sex at all. And she capped the at all. Okay, so aren't you taking the testosterone of it all? Like, what is going on? Simply Todd, what is going on?
Her and Tamika are just keeping it real. And a lot of that is your hormones, Tamika. A lot of what I hear you saying is hormonal. So hopefully you find some support.
Your husband feels like I'm going through the change, but I just do what I need to do. I just let him get it. Yeah. A lot of women do that. But if you get your hormones together, maybe you'll have a different experience. So you need to tell this to your doctor because I think you said you get your results back in 2 weeks. It might be less than 2 weeks now. So when you get those results back, you're going to have that conversation, hopefully, and talk about, because I think a lot of times women get embarrassed, but this is like a huge part. Sex is a huge part of a relationship, especially a marriage. And you got to get it. You got to figure out what's also going to make you happy in the relationship, not just doing it for him. You also want to feel, like
do it for yourself,
a woman. Yeah.
And by the way, Tamika and everyone else out there, Taisha knows this already, but testosterone is good. The Vagifem, but testosterone definitely in the United States, there's one indication for use in women, one sort of vetted indication, and that is libido. So if you say libido, you should be able to get a low dose testosterone. And then the Vagifem, there's no reason why you can't get that. That's a $10 per month prescription, or Uvafem, either one. But you should be able to get some relief even in perimenopause, even if you're still having a regular period and you can't get on estradiol, you should get testosterone and Vagifem or Uvafem. I just wanted to put that out there. That could help.
Yes. Okay. All right. Let me see. I think did I miss a comment? Okay. Let me scroll down. Thanks for sharing that. I hope that was helpful. I fought it, Dee Dee. He's too young, but he pursued me, and I'm not used to that. I was always the man eater. She's a man eater. Remember that song? Who sang that? I used to love that little song. It reminded me of Solid Gold. Remember Solid Gold? The show Solid Gold with the puppets and all that. All right, Joe. Well, good for you. It's good for you. And you know, I think first of all, you are confident now. You can tell you're up, you're mobile, you're moving around. That confidence exudes off of you. So naturally, you're gonna attract all the boys to the yard. Your milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, "Joe's better than yours," and they're like, "Joe's is better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to charge." Now I remember, what's her name? Miss Toy was saying, "Does Dallas hasn't even know what that means?" Yes, ma'am, I do. I'm 53 and I'm seasoned, so I do know what that means. All right, so okay, I see Taisha is saying something. Let's see. Taisha said the equipment works, but the desire isn't there, and she's already, doing all this hormone thing. So I feel like that possibly could be a mental block, which is real thing, right? That you just don't have the desire for whatever reason. I would talk to the doctor about that too, because I wonder if there's something that they could help you with that. Taisha, she says, "Do you know what this is, Mel? Vyleesi? Is it Vyleesi?"
Yeah, oh my gosh, there are a couple of things out there. This is one of them. There's a new product on the market, and I learned that at the women's health conversations that I went to in Orlando. But in addition to that, there's also something called Omazing. And Alloy Health, which is the online women's telehealth company, they've been around for years. They're not, like, their thing is not necessarily GLP-1s, but they do, by the way, sell GLP-1s. But all that being said, they sell something called Omazing, and you can access it. It's think of Viagra for women. It's called Omazing, O-Mazing, and it comes in a little thing. Don't ask me how I know. And and so you check it out. Go to Alloy Health. They also have like estrogen cream for your skin and all kinds of other stuff. So, but yeah, Alloy, it's not estrogen. It's a women's sex tool to help you get and remain aroused. And I think it's like lasts for 4 hours or something, the arousal. So anybody who just needs to, and it's not an emotional issue, or you're dealing with other things outside of, because that's the other thing. If you have stressors in your life, which a lot of women do in mid-age, we have aging parents, we have children who acting a fool, grown children who we still have to look after. All of these things are happening, and that in itself could impact your desire. So Omazing, check it out. It might be helpful.
Yes, I would say check with your doctor before you try that Omazing, and
Well,
hopefully
you can't just get it. You have to talk to a doctor.
Okay, good. Okay, so and hopefully it's amazing once you get Omazing.
I don't know, but I got some just in case.
Ooh, just in case. Oh my, J-I-C, J to the I to the C, just in case. So you're going to try sex therapy, the sex therapy of it all. I picture when she says sex therapy, for some reason, what's the name of that movie where they were tying folks up? And it was the millionaire, and he had the little girl that was his, I don't know if she was his secretary, his something. What was the name of that movie? And it was a book, and the lady wrote a book, and then it became this huge movie.
50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey. That's what I see not Tamika, Taisha. I see Taisha at sex therapy, the sex therapy of it all with the 50 Shades of Grey. Jeez Louise. Let me know how that works out. Jeez Louise, I like
Yes,
that. That
please.
sounds interesting.
Sure.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So Joe was saying she loves how dedicated Mel is to the women's health of it all. Very good. Me too. Ruth said my gynecologist also recommended. Let me see. I can't read that. 2 books for me to read to help with the desire. I'm also doing BHRT. Okay. Very good. Yeah, the 50 Shades of Grey of it all. What are the 2 books? Do you know the 2 books? If you know the names, put them in the chat. We can use a good read. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, because
50 Shades
I'm
of Grey.
getting about tired of hearing Dr. Anya on that Book Enough talk because she talked like she's about 5 years old. And I'm like, oh God, can I please give me something else to read? Oh, or listen to. She does.
Yeah, it's all good when Oprah comes up,
Me
slides up
too,
in there with
Peggy.
her 2 cents. Jeez, why was I thinking the movie was Annie? The sun will come out tomorrow. That's probably why. Because the sun will come out
I was gonna say, I think
tomorrow.
that's a whole nother movie on the dark web.
Your sex drive will come back tomorrow. Jeez, Louise. Okay. So what is Davina saying? I'm always very kind to men who approach me, even if I'm not interested. I'm tall, and if I'm wearing heels, I'm pushing 6'4". So it takes a lot of courage to come up to me. I bet you it does. Okay, very good. I think being kind is always a good thing.
Yes,
You can't
agreed.
go wrong when you're kind. I love that. You thought about the song I thought about the song Justin Timberlake, I'm bringing sexy back. Da-na-na-na-na-na. After you guys finish that sex therapy, you're going to be like, I'm bringing sexy back. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's see. Let's see. What are you guys saying? So Taisha was getting it multiple times a day, girl. Okay, so you went from that to not wanting to do it at all. Now, if that was that's a shocker. That could be a shocker for some men if you were doing that, and then now you're to the point where you're not. So I think that's why it's good to have an understanding, partner,
Yes.
because we change, women change, men change, and you just gotta have to go with the change. Okay, so it's Come As You Are by Emily. Okay, Nagoski, and Better Sex Through Mindfulness. Jeez Louise, that sounds like a lot to think
Love
about. By Lori Brado, PhD. Okay, all right, very good. Thank you for sharing that. Come As You Are and Better Sex Through Mindfulness.
that second book is I would definitely read that. Let me check that out. Let me
I'm gonna wait till I get a man to read that.
it's probably not a real sexy book. It's probably more intellectual, mindful, if you will.
Well, JC just popped up in here talking about that's a great book. Are you getting the mindfulness of it all in there, JC? You read it before. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. So let's see. Do we have any more? So let me ask you, I have a video. I'm going to try to show this video. This was a conversation, or we have a couple more minutes. So this was a conversation that Mel and I had on all the single ladies. She said, poor TJ. I agree. This was a conversation of the single ladies. So the question is, why aren't men approaching women? So some of you say you're approached, right? Now it's a catch-22. I'm approached too. I think because I always have a smile on my face. So I do get approached, but I haven't been out there here lately to know. But I've had, guys like, look and, flirt and stuff in the grocery store, and I just keep it moving. I act like I don't even see it. But I guess some women are having a hard time being approached. So I don't know where they are, what they're doing, but I guess it's a thing, right? So let's see. I'm going to try to share this video, and I'm going to speed it up and stop it. And let me know what you guys think. So let me share my screen. Let me prepare my screen. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me know if you see it. You guys see the screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. Do you see it now?
No.
Oh no. Okay, here it is. Now do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here we go.
My last video, which was about like dating, And a lot of people are like, yeah, it's the same. And I don't see a lot of like men. I do get some like DMs from men saying the same thing, but like I wonder if men feel the same way, or if they're like intimidated to like talk. Like, what do we do? Like, how do we fix this genuinely?
Why are men not confident enough to walk up to women now? Say shout out to the guys who are confident enough to walk up to women. The masculinity on earth has diminished drastically that guys don't even come up to you anymore. They'll just stare at you from a distance. As a woman who's trying to embody her feminine energy, you're not going to catch me going up to the guys. You're just not. We can just stare at each other. Say shout out to the guys who are confident enough to walk up to women, because guys don't do that anymore. If God were to guarantee that your 20th person would be the love of your life, you would be so happy to be rejected by all 19. So why are men not confident enough to walk up to women now? We don't chase. We signal like, you can come up to me now. But all men do is just look at you now. And of course, like if the woman is interested, she's gonna keep looking your way too. But it just like stays like that. Nothing ever happens because men don't walk up to women anymore, or they're just tired of being rejected. But it's like if God were to tell you that you're gonna go through 20 rejections before you get to your yes, and that's gonna be the love of your life, you guys would be so happy to go through all 20 because you would just be so closer to the love of your life. Come on, guys, you guys gotta do better.
Tell me why every day I go out looking adorable, tits bouncing, skin glistening, and yet nobody ever hits on me or approaches me. Ever. Oh my God, like please. I'll take a fucking construction worker cat call at this point. Guys, men used to go to
Oh my gosh. So what do you guys think about that? So I like when the lady said, I like when that lady said, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I like when the lady said to the, she was saying, what if a guy knew? Because I think Mel said it, earlier. Sometimes men, not all men, we're never talking about all men, but sometimes men are, don't want to approach a woman because they don't want to be shot down or they don't want to be rejected. I guess it's the better term. And so she said, what if you were a man and God said, okay, your 20th person is going to be your person, but you got to approach 20 people. Would you do it then? So she's saying, like, have the confidence to go up, and you just never know. One of those women are not going to reject you. But I think that's kind of hard especially if you're somebody who's been rejected. It's easy to say if you're going and you're hitting it out the bar, you're walking up to Perfectly Pamela, and every time you go up to a Perfectly Pamela, she's like, oh, can I get your number? Certainly you can. But if you're walking up to a Perfectly Pamela and she's like, no, I'm not interested. So many of those I could kind of see where you would kind of be discouraged. You know what I mean? So what do you ladies think about that? That's a great question. Why aren't men approaching women? What do you think?
Well, I think I already said the reasons why I think, and some of it isn't think. I mean, men who are in my life have said it, and sometimes, sometimes I personally believe that there is more of a fear when women are grouped together. And a lot of times women like going out in groups together. And I see this, and I've had men say, well, I didn't really want to bother you. You look like you were having fun with your friends, but they catch me before I walk out, or I'll go to the restroom and then they follow behind me, which is kind of creepy. But do you know what I mean? So yeah, a lot of them, I think, are intimidated by going up to women who are with friends and things like that. So it's good from time to time to go to lunch, take yourself to lunch, go to a cafe, go to have coffee in the middle of the day if you work from home instead of working in your office, go and sit somewhere. And this was all advice I was given. I am not a dating coach or anything near it. But the woman that I worked with or hired, she that was one of the things she said. So she said, don't always be hanging with a bunch of friends and stuff. She said, sometimes, especially during the day, go out by yourself, have a cup of coffee, take your laptop, take a good book, go to a restaurant, go to a lounge by yourself, go to a comedy show by yourself. So yeah, I that's my opinion.
I 100% agree with that. Shay,
My,
you're on
my
mute.
guy friends told me that taking your friends when you're trying to meet somebody out, like out is like taking sand to the beach. That was the analogy they use. Like, why would you take sand to the beach? So why, in other words, why would you go with some, like, that's your competition, right? So and when you hate to put it like that, but that is, and then sometimes you can be interested in a guy and then he likes your friends. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I think it's, I think that's, if you could do it, you muster up that confidence to go by yourself. I think that's a great strategy. Would you do that, Pamela? Have you done that? Would you do it, or have you done that?
I have done it. I don't really do it too much anymore. But I will say the last time I was approached by somebody, I was out by myself. I was shopping and he ended up helping me get something off of a shelf and then gave me his business card. And I never called him. I don't know. But yeah, I will say that it's true. They're more likely to approach when you're by yourself.
I would agree with that. Now, Pamela, why do you think that men aren't approaching women? Like, if it's a thing, why do you think that might be?
I think that part of it is fear of rejection. And then as somebody, I just kind of saw it briefly in the comments. Somebody said that for so many years, we told them quit gawking at women. Now we want them to come up to women and say something. And I mean, I feel like they're kind of intimidated by a lot of women now, they're not sure how to approach it.
Yeah.
And I think that, so we'll listen to this guy who talks too, because and I don't know if I could play a lot of what he says, because he does a lot of cursing, more so than we just heard. But, he's one of those guys that thinks like women just want to be kept and taken care of, and they don't add a whole lot of value to the man. Like, that's kind of like his thought as I was watching it. But I don't know. I think, I don't know. It's a catch-22. I think women do want to be. I think it's all how you do it. Like, to be catcalled at, every woman doesn't like that. So I
Right.
think that's different than somebody approaching you and at a bar or a club or a lounge or at a grocery store, wherever you are. I think that's a little bit different. And sometimes I think when you're single, one of the things that we have to be careful about as you age is, they say data is showing that the women are now out earning the men. So women are having these, 6 figures, and the man is not. And so then you have that disparity going on, and conversation about being equally yoked. So when you're equally yoked, I always thought it matched up with like your values and beliefs as far as the Bible is concerned. But you could be equally yoked with finances too. Does that come into play? So would you be like Ebony Williams? I don't know if you know who Ebony Williams is. Here recently, she went to a sperm bank and had a baby because she couldn't find a guy, but she blew up the internet because she was talking about she wouldn't date a bus driver. She's an attorney, and she was on the Real Housewives of New York, and she has her own podcast now. So she's successful. And she was saying how she wouldn't date a bus driver because they wouldn't be aligned, financially. She didn't think that they would be aligned, and people gave her the hardest time for that. And I don't know if you guys know Candy and Todd, but I love me some Candy Burris from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And now her and her husband are divorcing, and he's doing everything that Mama Joyce was worried that
he was going to do.
So I know Mama Joyce is somewhere sipping her cocktail. Like,
she can talk with
Candy. I told you. So, so I just thought, geez, oh man, you got to worry about that too. So I'm just going to deal with it. But she had him do sign a prenup, and now he's contesting the prenup. And some men have been successful overturning that prenup. And now he's in her house. He won't leave out. She thought she had all her I's dotted and her T's crossed. And so I would do that. In order for somebody to marry me, you would have to sign a prenup, because if I was to get married tomorrow, he would have 50% of my pension. 50%. Can you imagine? I didn't work 32 years and he just gets 50% of my pension. It used to be here in Ohio after 7 years. And then, of course, the men in charge changed it to like immediately. And even before, like if you get married and let's say, you know, you have to, your child doesn't even get access to your money. Your husband comes first. Like it's like, yeah, it has to be, you can't even sign for that to happen. It's like a process you have to go through. So they're watching out for these men. So I think, you know, men always have each other's back. Women have to have each other's back. You know, you got to be telling your aunts, your cousins, your sisters, your BFFs, you know, to protect their interests, especially as you get older. And I know people say like, oh, it's not romantic to have a prenup. I don't care about romance. Where's the romance when it breaks down? And I'm not saying I want it to break down or it's going to break down, but I think just like insurance, you get insurance on your car just in case it breaks down. I think you got to have like that prenup at our ages. Now, maybe you could be a little bit romanticized about it all in your 20s and 30s, but in your 50s, again, watch me. Because if I come on here with some guy saying, oh, this is my BFF, my BFF, I just love him. This is my true love. When you see me being an old boo, let me know. Because I don't want to be an old boo out here. I just don't. I don't. So what do you guys think? Would you get a prenup? Would you have him sign a prenup? You know, would you date somebody that didn't earn as much as you?
I mean, if you can take care of yourself, I just don't, I'm never going to say never that I wouldn't date somebody who earned less than me, but he needs to be forward thinking, have a plan for retirement, things like that. You can't be like 50 years old talking about the 3 businesses you gon' establish. Like, okay, you're 50. What is your plan to retire? Like, and if we're having those, I'm not going to even get to that point, to be honest. I don't, you know, we'll have to see what happens. But I'm just saying, for me, it's not about your annual salary. It's more about what are your assets. I guess it's really about some of it is about assets and retirement and a plan. I don't want to take care of a man, and I'm just not built for that. So, and I know myself. So that's not going to work. So we're not going to even get to that point because I'm gonna find out, and I might even do a background check. I've done that. I did that with my last boyfriend. So yeah. So I mean, that's kind of what's in my heart. I just think it's the right thing to do. I need to know these things. Yeah. And I'm okay with you making less than me, but be able to take care of yourself and have some assets. I can't willingly go into a situation with someone who has no assets. We probably not going to even get to the first kiss because I'm going to already know what that's going to look like. And you're going to be intimidated and you're going to have a problem with me traveling for work. My ex didn't make as much as I made. He was retired. He was retired military and he had a business on the side. And he would be like, we only talk for 5 minutes today. I'm out of town working. Like, seriously, is this what we're doing? It's like out of sight, out of mind with you. Really? So it was tough. And I don't want to go through that. So I'd rather have somebody that has a plan and I don't have to worry about their financial situation. And they have some things to do outside of our relationship. You have hobbies, you have friends, you have things to do so that I don't feel burdened by you. I want to be with somebody and miss them. I don't want to be up under them 24/7.
WB, how are you? Thank you. She says the Diva Trio. We love that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's give her a love it. Okay, so Mel, I think that, and you know, I think with guys, that's probably like an unpopular opinion, but that's okay. I think, I don't know if Nicole said it when I'm looking in the chat. Bye. Good night, Miss V. She says, great conversation. She's headed to the gym. It's late. Well, maybe it's not late where you're at. It's 10:28 where I'm at. But I think when you're older, I think Bellflower brought this up, but I think you date when you're dating focus and what you want and need changes as you age, right? Because the needs are different. And so I think if you're answering as a 30-year-old, your answer might be different than it is as a 53-year-old, and that's okay. So I think we got to recognize that
Yes.
too.
And those people on those videos were very young. That's the first thing that came to my mind. They were a little immature. You could tell by some of the things they were saying, because I can answer that question. You don't have to post that to TikTok. Like,
We're too
it is
focused on
what
the
it is.
outcome and what we can get versus thinking how we can learn and contribute to others' life in a great way. Okay, I can see that too. Yeah, but they still got to get that prenup going. I think there's a lot of confusion on the part of both male and female with traditional roles, and some women still like traditional roles and some don't, and the social etiquette rules are changing. Yeah, I can see that too. I can see that too. It's yeah. I think what happened is women are now boss ladies. You know what I'm saying? Like women aren't like the traditional role was a woman being in the house, cooking dinner, taking care of the kids and all of that. Once women are out in that workforce, just like you are, and bringing home as just as much money as you are, the dynamics are going to shift. Unless you are a woman that can bring that down, tone that down, and some women can and do a great job at it, but a lot of women and men that have that disparity, they don't usually last. They just don't.
And the
Yeah.
thing with that too, the traditional roles in today's economy, it's very hard for a one income household. Unless you're just really making that much money to take care. In those days when it was, the wife was at home taking care of the kids, the men were able to pay the mortgage, buy all the food, pay all the bills,
Yeah.
have a car. His wife had a car too. She didn't work, but she had a car to go to the store to get the groceries that he was paying for.
Right.
You can't do that these days unless you're just really banking. So,
Yeah, and I
you
disagree
can't have it both
wholeheartedly with
ways.
what. Yeah, I agree. I disagree with what JC said. I don't think most women feel that way right now. Like for me personally, I know you're not talking about me, but in general, I don't take the posture of women expect men to come to the table with everything when they're half functional. We're talking about women who are bosses. We're talking about women who are well beyond six
Yeah.
figures, having to protect themselves in a society where, unfortunately, it does favor men. And so we have to, as women, sort of, I think, navigate being bosses at work. And the reason why we are in these professions and we've worked so hard to educate ourselves and to get into business ventures like we have is out of necessity, because we did have a lot of men who fled their homes and stuff and left women. Black women have always been the foundation of our families. It is, for the most part, and there are a lot of Black men who do step up, and they are stepping up, and they're single fathers, but for the most part, yeah, for me, that's definitely not my situation. And I have a lot of friends, they're not expecting men to come to the table with anything except for respect, being able to take care of yourself. And I think it's low expectations to think that men should do otherwise. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I definitely don't want a man to take care of me. I can take care of myself, but I want him to at least meet me where I'm at. I don't want a man like I'm too far in my life. Like you said, you have to have planned for the future. I'm too old to have somebody who has not thought about the future at this point. Somebody who's still trying to become a rapper at age 45, 50. Come on now. You passed that stage. If you didn't make it by now, you're not going to. Let's look at what's next. That's yeah, I've been there, done that. So,
That's so cute.
but yeah, I just at least be at my level,
Or somebody who hasn't had a job. This is a thing too. I noticed, especially with the younger guys. So when that younger guy was talking to me, and I do have younger guys approaching me, and it's like, where do you work? Okay, I'm not working right now. What's the last job you had? I haven't worked, in 9 months. 9 months. What have you been doing for 9 months? To me, that's just a red flag to me, because the men I know are going to get out there and hustle for their family, for themselves. They're not going to go without a job. And don't you notice the young people, even they're too good to work at McDonald's or the fast food. When I was growing up, I worked at Wendy's. You know, now people, some of these young kids, they won't work there. They gotta start off at the top. And it doesn't always work that way. So that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Like, what is your work ethic? If I lost my job tomorrow, I would be doing something. I wouldn't just be sitting at home writing out a plan. I'm going to get a job somewhere else, and I'm going to, stay there, go to school part-time until I do what my other career would be, which is at this point, I probably would be a real estate agent or a lawyer. One of those two would be like a passion of mine that I would do. And I wouldn't be sitting around waiting for, I don't know. I just would. In the meantime, I'm not going to start out as a lawyer or a real estate agent. I'm going to have to take classes, and that's going to require time. So I'll get a job somewhere else, bringing in money until I can make those things happen. And I'm noticing sometimes men aren't doing that. Well, I'm going to tell you, that's not the guy for me, because I'm always going to be doing something. I'm never going to be sitting around twiddling my thumbs waiting for a check to roll in. I'm going to be going out and getting the bacon and the eggs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that's a red flag, and that doesn't have to have, that's a mindset. That's not really I'm coming with all the money just like you are. That you got to have that mindset. That guy has to have that mindset, because look what happened with a lot of people who had these high powered jobs, lost their jobs in the last 6 months. What are they doing now? And I can see how you would, you're just going to sit back and see what kind of happens and collect your unemployment. But when your unemployment runs out, you should have a plan of, now what am I going to do? Like, it shouldn't be like, okay, my unemployment ran out, it's going out in 2 weeks, and you don't have a plan. So I'm looking for somebody like that, that's like planning ahead and has goals, and they know what they want, and they may not be exactly there, but they know what it takes to get, and they're doing things like you can see it. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I guess, okay, so she says did I read this already? How we're too focused on the outcome and what we can get versus thinking, okay, I think I read that. Okay, I saw JC's comment. I saw a comment that was interesting. Okay, well, this one says, I love going out. The last couple of times, some of my girlfriends forgot their card. Oh, so you had to pay, huh? Oh, that's not cool. I would leave your card and see what they do the next time. Which I've never left a card, but geez, oh man.
You know what?
Yes.
I'm sorry. You know what I was going to say? I'm sorry. I was just reading something in the comments, and I think that what's interesting is sometimes, I don't know if this has happened to you ladies, but you might meet someone and they say, I can't believe you're single. And it's almost like, and it's a part of this narrative where if you're middle age and you are single, oh, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with him? Well, how about, it's not like you've always been single. It's not like I've been single since I was 16, right? For me personally, but I find that very interesting, that I think that mindset, and I think it was Bellflower who said that, but I think that's a narrative that, there's always narrative created about women. We don't hear the same thing with men, which is interesting. But I do think that that once you get older, you do change. If you've been married for 20 or 30 years, your experience is going to be way different than mine. You know what I mean? I mean, if you've been taking care of yourself, even for a part of that time, because I was 19 when I got engaged the first time. I was in my 20s when and that, I called that off. And then I met somebody else, got engaged, got married, got divorced, and then got engaged more times. So it's not because you happen to, in this moment of time, be single. So when somebody asks, like a man asks, I can't believe you're single. Well, why are you single? Like, why are you single? So it just, it's almost like this assumption, like you've never been married or anything. So it's a narrative. That's my answer to the question.
So the next time someone asks you, why are you still single? Because I just got out of prison.
I I never thought of that.
But I'm looking for somebody. Are you interested?
That's a good one. I like that. I like that.
Well, I
I
think
like
you're right. I think there is that thing out there, like if you haven't been married and or if you're not married, you know, something's wrong with
Something's
you, like
wrong.
what's wrong with you that you're not married.
Why does it have to be me? Why
Yeah.
can't it be them?
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, you know, the first time, and so I say to people, you got to know people's story, because the first time I was engaged, I've been engaged twice. I do call myself the runaway bride, but for good reason. The first time I was married, you know, I was with my, and I'm going to tell more about this story, but again, I can't share it right just yet. But let's just say he was cheating. We were in college. Everybody knew that he was cheating, but me. I was like the last to find out. And so should I stay with somebody that's cheating? Like, no, I'm not going to stay with somebody that is cheating. And it's so funny because years ago, you know how you have your college alums and you go back and, you know, I went over to his house with a couple of, you know, people from college, and come to find out he was living there with some girl, didn't tell me, but trying to talk to me again. So he is one of those people that's just going to be a chronic cheater. Like he's just a cheater, pumpkin eater. And so it's like, I'm so glad that I wasn't desperate to be with somebody. And, you know, and not that you have to be if you're accepting cheating, but for me, I just feel like I got so much going on for myself. That's the last thing I need to start off with, because my dad always told me that a guy should treat you the best he's going to treat you when you're dating, right? Because he's trying to impress you. He's trying to, you know, get you. And I was like, no. And, you know, and of course it took like having a strong dad to like reinforce that, no, this is not for you. So then the second time he didn't, if he cheated, I never knew about it. But the second time he had more money than me. He was the breadwinner, and he bought me my first car. Like he bought me my first car. He led with his money. And one of the things he did was he was very controlling. I'll talk more about that too. One of these days. But he was very controlling. And so I'm lucky I got out of that, because, you know, he used to say to me, like, if I didn't love your parents, I would slap the S out of you. And he was, one time he shook me and he said, I didn't love your parents, I would slap the, you know, whatever out of you. And eventually he would have, you know, and it's just like, I was said to myself, like, I don't see myself being in this situation. Now we were married. I mean, I just thought this was the end all be all. And again, I just was thinking, I don't care about his money, because, you know, guys with money kind of lead with that. He led with his money. And I was thinking, I don't really care about that. And at the time I was like, you know, it was a teacher, starting teacher salary was like $30,000. So I was not making, he probably was making triple that. He makes a ton of money now. And since then, you know, we, you know, maintained talking over the years. And he cried more at my mom's funeral than anybody. He was up in there boo-hooing, even in the repast. But, you know, it's just like, it was such a good decision that I just didn't stick around. So, and I just think like a lot of stuff happened that set me up to being so overprotective of my heart, like the things that went on with those two situations. And so I am to the point where if I notice it's not right, I just don't stick around for that. And so I wish I didn't have those experiences, but those experiences are, you know, I am who I am, and I am that for a reason. And again, like I say, you know, it's not cool that I'm saying this, because, you know, you shouldn't be out here doing what you're doing, you know, with God watching you. But I'm telling you, when I am out here dating, you know, I'm happier than the married people I know. And so I just don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? I just don't feel slighted. I just don't. Now, I'm one of those women. I know women tend to say, I don't need a man. I do need a man, because what I need a man for, I don't know any, my friends can't give it to me. No one can give it to me. And I think we were designed to be with, you know, a mate and a partner. So I do feel like I do need a man. I would love to have a man. Now, financially, I think we always connected to the finances. Financially, no. But for everything else, for the emotional support, you know, the partnership, the friendship, all the things that you know, a good guy brings to a home, I would love to have that for myself. But yeah, I'm not desperate to have it at all. And I'm very, you know, happy with what I'm doing. But that would only enhance what I'm doing, right? It's going to enhance.
the right person.
Enhance. Yeah, if it's not going to enhance, guess what? I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't. And I'm going to say, you know, sorry to my married friends out there watching, but I'm just going to be honest. Like, I don't see a lot of relationships that I say, I wish I had that. I just don't.
Mhm.
Do
The
you?
way
Do you?
the way your face looks. I wish
Yeah.
I
I
had
just, I
that.
don't. I just don't. And that's because I'm over
I
here
know a
easy.
few. I know a few.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
I know a few,
I
but
don't.
not a
I'm
whole
over here
lot.
easy breezy, lemon squeezy. It's a challenge, right? Being in a relationship and you go through your ups and your downs. And I'm one of those people, like, I don't want the downs. And I know it's gonna be down. So that's why I
There
say for
is.
me, I think that's where my struggle is. And that's why I'm single and ready. I'm not even ready to mingle. I'm just single. Please, Louise, I want to be ready to mingle. So that's just going to be a mind shift for me. And I have to
Mhm.
get in my head, there's no perfect guy. I do know that.
Yeah.
But there is a guy for me. I'm waiting to find that. And not that my friends have like terrible relationships, but they go through some things. And I'm over
Mhm.
here easy breezy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think there are definitely men out there who want relationships with mature women who are living in their feminine energy. And that does not mean you're like, ooh, ah. It just means that you're powerful, but that power comes through like sweetness and kindness and caring. And that's what I see feminine energy. It's not,
Mhm.
you know, being masculine versus, talking like this. No, that's not what it's about. But I think there are a lot of men out there who are looking for someone to live out the rest of their lives with. So, yeah, you know, I'm excited. I remain excited and optimistic.
Well, you kind of have to be. You kind of have to be. I think it's going to be. And I will say this for all the married people out there. You know, I love a good married couple. And I think you know, even if you're married, I think like Joe. I don't know if that was Joe. I think that was Miss Brenda that said everybody has baggage. It's just a matter of who's willing to unpack yours. Absolutely, absolutely. We
Mhm.
all do have baggage. I just think that you know you'll find your person. You know. And uh, again, I don't know. I just feel like I want to be easy breezy, lemon squeezy with somebody. Is that possible to be easy breezy, lemon squeezy? Because it seems like, you know, geez, Louise, we're in our 50s. So we're already kind of established. I
Mhm.
always feel like, isn't it going to be hard for somebody to move with you or you to move with somebody? Do you ever wonder that?
Yeah.
Like, how is that person going to fit into what you have going on? Would you
I'm
leave your house and
I'm
go with them?
perfectly fine with him keeping his house and I keep my house and you live there and we meet up during the day and then you go home at night and I can sleep comfortably in my bed and don't have to worry about you rolling over on me or stealing the covers. I
That's
mean,
so hilarious. But hey, but I've heard other people say that as well. I mean, I try not to
mhm.
think about it because when you start thinking about it, you're like, oh man, I got to give up part of my bathroom, or he got to give up part of
Yeah.
his bathroom
I
because
mean, he can sleep over from time to time, keep a toothbrush here or something.
the other bathroom. Like, why do men like to share bathrooms with women? Like,
Yeah.
dude, there's another bathroom, a full bathroom over there. Like, go to that.
Mhm.
Like, what's the big deal? You don't want me to share a bathroom with you. Oh, yeah. I really,
Yeah.
it's just hilarious.
Yeah, I think my dad, Joe, is why I am. It's really skirted some terrible relationships, like and just kind of being aware of you know what to expect and what to look for and all of that. So yeah, that's the thing. But again, I'm not knocking marriage. I just like I said, I don't see it. My parents' marriage was kind of like that where I was like, oh, this is so cool. You know,
Mhm.
to see my stepdad and my mom's relationship was a beautiful thing. But I don't really see a whole lot of that going on where it's just like, dang, I want to do that. You know, think about it. You're arguing with somebody, you're sharing your space, you know, it's times where you're in the same house and you walk past and don't speak. And I love people who have the rule, don't go to bed angry and upset. But sometimes women can't do that. They would say, like, oh, we haven't talked in days. It's like, geez, Louise, can you imagine living in the house with somebody and you haven't talked? So, you know, all those things. I'm so set in my ways that It's just gonna take. I need what's her name? Ayala Van Zant is gonna have to come over and give me some therapy. Me and my future husband, my 36-year-old.
That's
I
funny.
would have called you guys and be like, Mel and Pamela, I met this 25-year-old. What would you tell me if I said that?
I'd be
Pamela,
like,
I called you up.
girl,
I met this 25-year-old. What would you say?
I
I would
don't
start
know.
praying.
It depends. Where is he in life? You know, that would be my thing.
Pamela, you should see your face. You got to run this back and look at your face when I said that.
I mean, most of the guys that I've dated have been younger. The last relationship I was in, he was 11 years younger than me. So I don't, but it's again, it's where is he at mentally? You know,
Mm-hmm.
is he financially stable? Is he able to take care of himself, or are you having to be mama and girlfriend?
Mhm.
That's what you don't need.
Now, there was a comment up in here about did you guys see that? It was something about, I think Joe wrote it. Something about it was okay. I like this comment. Prenup is valuable if you're protecting already established assets. Also, it depends on age and how you match up. Yes, and I think people have to remember we're up here. We're all in our 50s. We're not like young spring chickens. You know, we're established. And he wants me to sign a prenup. I'll sign a prenup. It's not just
Absolutely.
Thank you. It's not just for you. It's not just for the man. You getting his stuff. I'm thinking about my own assets. I'm like, I got college funds for my nieces and nephews and all kinds of other stuff in the state of Florida. In order for you to leave assets to anyone outside of your spouse has to sign off to give you permission to do it. That's Florida. So so those are things you have to think about.
Yeah.
Well, but JC, haven't you been married for a long time? So I think you've been married 20 plus years.
Yeah, that's a whole different animal.
Yeah, your situation is so different. You guys that have been married for years and years, if you're not out here dating now in 2026, it's a whole different ball game. And don't come out here dating. Make your relationship work. Because I'm telling you, it's a jungle out here. It's like I said, I call this YouTube with the Wild Wild West. So is dating. So I say, if you have somebody, try to do your best to make it work, unless they're physically hurting you.
I was gonna say with limitations.
Yeah, I mean, besides the obvious red flags, I say stick it out and make it work. And I just think because once you get out here, you'll see the grass is not always greener. It really is not. And it's not going to be a perfect relationship, but yeah, I say don't come out here. Now, somebody said something about on YouTube. Did you see that comment? Mel is checking out the comments. Did you see that, Mel?
About YouTube? Yeah, I'm looking.
Somebody said something about people not being honest on YouTube about something. What was that? I'm trying to find that.
Well, help me out, Nicole Bellflower.
Was it? I think it might have been Joe that said it. I think it might have been Joe, or was it Joe or Miss Brenda, or was it JC? Okay, here it is. The problem we have with social media is that some content creators are talking about truths when really it's for clicks. I don't think it's 100% accurate that men no longer try.
I don't believe that either.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and then the one girl, she cracked me up. She's like, yeah, I'm glistening. My boobs are popping. I got this going on. I got that going on.
Like 20-something years old. Girl,
Yeah, I can totally see that. And I do see there are some men who don't necessarily want to approach women. I don't think that's true. And it could be where she's going too. We don't know where she's hanging out at. I think all that comes into play.
Or how are you presenting yourself? That's another thing. And maybe he just don't like, maybe there's something you're giving off. And as women, we have to admit that. We have to look at ourselves inside and out and say, okay, what is it what am I giving? Right? What am I giving? Because we have responsibility to be I believe, to be open and to assume positive intent, not always be negative, and that takes work. That's not easy sometimes, especially
Yeah.
after that.
And to that point, Shay, like you said, she said that she was out there glistening and her boobs bouncing and everything. Well, what kind of man are you wanting to approach
There
you?
you go. Thank you.
You know?
There
Because
you go.
that's not what I want to do to get a man's attention, because that's not the type of man that I want.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
There's that.
Davina said, she said, come to the table. He needs to build the table.
That's right, Davina.
This is the whole financial conversation. It really is one of the things that makes it more difficult for a woman nowadays in our age group to find to find somebody, because I think, not that you have to be making all this money, but you have to be doing something. You have to have something going on. You really do. Especially, I have young kids. I just a kid, so I just think you got to have something going on. I'm currently twiddling my thumbs while retirement rolls on in. I love that. Very good. This new batch of men is very different. They have no assets but to protect, but they're family jewels, and they don't want nobody to have those.
No, nobody wants those. That's so funny.
Yeah. Now, what if they say, "What are assets?" You ask them what are assets, and they start asking what those are. It's like a red flag. When my daughter got a divorce, she was more successful. She was the more successful and ended up paying palimony for 2 to 3 years. She had to give him one of the cars. So she will definitely get a prenup. So it only takes you one time to learn that hard lesson. And I have a teacher friend who now she's actually been teaching more years than me. And her husband was caught cheating on her. I mean, literally, I'll tell you that story too. One of these days, he was literally caught cheating on her, like red-handed. And so now she can't retire. She's, she has a little part-time job. She's a teacher, and she can't retire because when they divorced, she divorced him over that cheating. He got 50% of her pension. So because of that, she can't afford to retire. Now, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be in that situation at all. And her situation happened. She married him. They have been married a long time. Like, I want to say 20 plus years, 20, 25 years. So, she did all the right things. The law just changed, and who knew the law was going to change? Right. And this wasn't prepared for it. So now I know somebody who told me, it's one of our YouTube subscribers that everybody probably knows. I'm not going to say who it is, but she told me that she had these papers, and she had her ex-husband sign the papers, and he was signing that prenup, and that's how she got out of it. So I said, oh my goodness, I know. And there was a smart move for her, because, that took her responsibility away from having to get him half. It's just crazy. All right. So let's wrap this up. Do you guys see any other comments in there? We've been on here for, almost 2.5 hours, breaking it down.
Just look at the time, girl.
What a good topic. So before we leave, the single ladies, do you have plans tomorrow, and what are they? And then we're out of here. What are your plans tomorrow?
Yes, I am going out tomorrow to an event, an old school music event. They do it once a month, but tomorrow will be more dedicated to like the ladies and all of that. So I am doing that. It is a day party, because that's my thing. So it's from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. So, but I'm usually out of there early. I'm usually out of there. We'll go and stay a couple of hours, me and my friend Shalene. And if she can't go, I'm still going to go by myself for a couple of hours.
Man, I love that. All right, very good. I love that. She's still going, she said. Okay, very good.
Yes,
all right.
Yes.
Plans for you?
I don't have any plans like that. I'm going to the gym. I have to go by the funeral home and pick up my mom's death certificate. And then I will be recording one of my YouTube videos that I was supposed to do this week and just hadn't been motivated to do. So yeah.
I'm planning to, I do have a nail appointment, so I have that little bit of self-care going on. And then I'm getting a cold, so I think I'm gonna relax and work on my video. And my daughter has a little thing to go to, a little afternoon soiree, whatever you call it. She's from 5:30 to I want to say 8:30. So she'll be out, and then I'll just be here luxuriating by myself at home. So how about that? So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to just having the house to myself.
I
All
am
right. So
sleepy.
anything else in the chat? Thank you guys. This was a fun time.
Thank
I
you guys.
appreciate hanging out with the girls for Valentine's Day. And let me just say, we love the married people. We're just not married yet. I'm if I get married, I'm inviting
It's
you
God's
on.
will.
Right.
Joe left out of here, but Joe, good luck on your date. I can't wait to hear all about it. I'm excited for her. I mean, think about her story, how she went from being a mobile to now she is going on a virtual date. I mean, isn't that like a full circle going on?
That is.
I love it. Love
So
it.
thank you, ladies. Have a good night. I will see you
Thank
guys
you.
soon. Bye. Happy
Bye.
Valentine's
Bye,
Day.
Pamela. Bye, Shay.
Bye.